Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fight for Our Freedom Radio. And I'm your host, Badbaby. And tonight we have with us Scott from the Nibiru channel and Steve from WSO. Okay, we lost Scott. He was in the room. Steve, if you're in the room, would you push *8? I don't see him. Okay, let me go back. I got so many people in the room, I can't keep up with unmuting you guys. So, and I seen somebody had said they lost their sound. Would someone please type in the chat, if you lose your sound, you need to log out and log back in. If you could do that for me while I search the board for these guys. I don't see them in the room. I'm wondering, Scott lost his sound, and then he was gone, which doesn't surprise me. Yeah, well, I'm searching the board. It takes me a minute. There are so many people coming into the room. So I'm not seeing them in the room. So let's just give them a minute and see. I don't know whether they're being blocked from logging in or what's going on. So we'll just keep unmuting people as they come in, and I'll keep searching for them, see if they show up. You do know that tonight we are going to allow guests to call in and ask questions. I was wondering, last night at about 1 o'clock in the morning, I went out in my yard with my dogs, and I saw a big circle. It was really bizarre, a real big circle around the moon. Did anybody else happen to see that? It looked like, actually, it looked like a chemtrail cloud, but it was a perfect circle. A halo? Yeah. I never seen anything like that before. It really, really was different. Okay, Steve, are you in the room? If you're in the room, please push *8. I'm wondering if they're being blocked from logging in. Well, the room's filling up, so let's just let everybody get in here and give them a few minutes to log back in. I have had that happen to me before, where people have been blocked from logging back in. So while we're waiting for them, I'll bend your ear a little bit. I just want to address all this protesting that's going on in our country. I think it's totally ridiculous. These people are saying they're so worried about what's going to happen to our country. If you're so worried about it, why are you destroying it? Burning things and destroying private property is not making our country a better place. It's destroying our land. So I just think it's ridiculous that you're going to go out and beat people's cars up and, smash business windows and that, and then say you're worried about our country. Steve, are you in the room? If you're on the phone, would you please push *8? Neither one of them are in the room yet. Okay, I'm still going to just keep unmuting people then. That I don't understand it. Scott was in the room, and then he said hello, hello, and thank you, guest 46. I posted on Facebook how I felt about it, and I don't agree with violence and the police being violent, but they're really taking a lot of crap from these people. And no, I don't use Skype in this call. And you know, I had posted that, you know, I wouldn't blame the police for hosing them. I mean, come on, these people are defecating in the streets. They're a disgrace to the American people as far as I'm concerned. And I posted it on Facebook. You know, they're smashing these police cars, and you know, I seen where one guy came out of his shop with a pistol and told him to get the hell away from his business. You know, which I don't blame him. You know, and I had posted that I wouldn't blame the cops if they went and got sewage trucks and hosed them down. They'd go home then, because who wants to hang around smelling like crap? But they're going to have to do something to address this, because it really is getting out of hand, and it is totally ridiculous. And, you know, don't sit there and whine and cry that our country's going to be destroyed because of who's president when you're out there destroying it. You better take a look in the mirror. Okay, I'm still not seeing Scott in the room. And I find it interesting that I got a couple of people that can come into my room, which everybody is automatically muted, and they are unmuted, which tells me they have some kind of special hacking ability to unmute themselves. And as far as I'm concerned, if you come in and you're unmuted, then you're a troll. So I'm still waiting. Scott was in the room, you guys. He, I don't know what happened to him. I do not know what happened. He kept saying, hello, hello. We could hear him. He couldn't hear us. And then he disappeared. So I'm sure he's trying his best to get back into the room. He must be being blocked. Are you in the room, Steve? Do you happen to be in the room? If you are on the phone, would you please push *8 to raise your hand to me? Okay, Steve is here. Are you with us, Steve?
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm having a rough time keeping up with unmuting everybody. Scott was in the room with us and before the show started, and all of a sudden he just started saying, hello, hello, are you there? And we lost him. And then he logged out. I don't know whether he's having a hard time getting back in the room or what's going on here.
Right. Well, we have more than our fair share of technical problems for some reason in this community.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh Lord, I know, right? So we can, you know, we can talk right now, and I know Scott had to reboot his computer. He was I think he got spiked. He gets spiked a lot. I mean, Scott gets probably spiked twice as much as I do. I don't know why.
Oh, I know why. It's because of what we're talking about. I've been on TalkShoe for 13 years, and when I started doing shows about Planet X, they quit advertising that I'm on live.
You should see the filth and just unbelievable stuff that they're putting out about me right now. That's just so, yeah, I never had any idea that people could be so vile. You know what I mean? But they're doing all kinds of stuff, like they're putting up fake websites and then claiming that they, you know, disassociated with me, and they've got like a team of trolls that just constantly barrage my subscriber base, and it's crazy. I mean, you know, I've learned I've learned to ignore it.
We got Scott back.
Hey, Scott.
What's happening, buddy?
Oh man, we were just waiting for you to come back online, but I was just telling her how much trolling and how much, like, they put up pages about us that, like, say that we're YouTube rats and all kinds of crazy stuff, you know? It's unbelievable.
Hey, Steve,
Well,
you want to explain why you're using 2 of my photos? You want to explain why you stole 2 of my photos and you're taking credit for it and you haven't credited me and you're lying about the contents? You want to explain that? This is Astronomy Live.
This is a trap type call.
No, this is not a trap. This is not a trap. You took two of my photos.
I didn't know that
Photos I took of GN0539.2.
Hey, could you mute that guy?
You also took a photo of Parsanian.
Oh, it's Astronomy Live. Hey,
You also took a photo that I took of Parsanian 3. You're using it without my permission, and you stopped.
Yeah, just
Okay,
just,
he's muted now. First of all,
yeah, just-
I would like to know how he can unmute himself if he's not a government troll.
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
He's just Astro Boy.
Yeah,
Well,
he's just
first
Astro
of
Boy
all,
there.
he
The
shouldn't
film that
be
I-
able to unmute himself.
No, the film that he's talking about, I got from Yellow Rose, Texas. So shut up.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I could go outside right now, and I could take a photo of the same portion of space,
and
but you can't copyright it. But you can't copyright it. It's space.
But it's only
You know what I
Astro
mean?
Boy, Scott. Scott, it's only Astro
Yeah.
Boy. I don't respond to him because he's really not worth my time. That's why I don't respond to him.
I apologize for that, Scott. I'm at the bottom of my board unmuting people, and he was muted. He can unmute himself, which he shouldn't be able to do that. So that proves right there that he's some kind of troll.
Yeah, he's a slime ball, man. And listen, really, I wish we didn't have to talk about him because I think there's much more important things to talk about right now, like why is the sky red almost 24/7 right now? Why did New Zealand almost shake off of its foundations? I bet the Daza the cameraman liked that one. Hey, Scott?
Yeah, I had a talk with Dave today. We actually had an in-depth conversation about the earthquake activity in New Zealand and in the region. And, I mean, you could go 50-50. You can go with, the natural geological happenings of the earth, and then you can go with our philosophy. All I know is that we've had a massive increase in earthquake activity this year in 2016, and it's not just me saying that. It's well documented every single day. I mean,
what about what happened in
over,
California today?
Well,
the shelf moved 6 feet today.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching another report coming out of New Zealand and in that region. And, I mean, some people will say, hey, it's a natural occurrence in New Zealand. It might be. But we're having catastrophic earthquakes all over the world every day. We are well over 40,000 earthquakes for this year. And we still have, 6-7 weeks left in 2016.
Mm-hmm. And what's kind of disconcerting to me now, Scott, and all the listeners here is that, like even 6 months ago, it was like I would get maybe 2 or 3 out of 10 that were like credible photographs that you could see something or maybe look at stuff. Now it's like almost every photograph, and these are people, just normal people with their camera phones or with like maybe they get a new camera and they go out. I mean, they're getting excellent photographs of this phenomenon with everywhere around the world, just normal people like us. That's what's really kind of shook me a little bit lately.
Well, yeah, yesterday, I've gotten some credible information from a really fantastic guy who, has worked in the aerospace industry for more than 20 years and very, 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 very smart older gentleman. I love talking to him. And, he's given me a lot of eye-opening information on our subject. And the bottom line is these guys at NASA, the Jet Propulsion Laboratories, the United States government, the governments across the globe over the years, they know exactly what is out there. Now, the information that I received today is they are paying attention to us, and the only reason why they are not coming after us and shutting us down is because they are actually relying on people like me and you, because they cannot get a direct bead on this event. Now, when I got that information today, that blew me away, because they're actually relying on us, relying on our information, and they're using it. They're using us for information.
You know, and the other thing I've always suspected, Scott, along that line, I've always suspected that they were using us so that they could get a measure of the public reaction to it as well, don't you?
Absolutely, and I was just about to say that. Just about to say that, and that was the second topic of my 4-hour conversation today. And, you know, hey, I mean, if that's the role that I have to play and that you have to play, hey, so be it. But they're not going to deny it. I mean, they're not going to publicly come out and say it. But from what I've understood today, they've been tracking this, and they've had really good knowledge of it since 1993. There's more than one object. And just recently, we were kind of out of the line of fire, but now all of a sudden, we have a massive object coming in from the southwest region of the sky. My team photographed 245 images last night of this object, telescopically, not with a 10-cent camera, not with a 35-millimeter camera, with a telescope and imaging equipment. I made a video of it today. I put it up there, and so far it hasn't been debunked like all of my other videos, because you can't say these are lens flares. You're clearly looking at a very large planet with huge craters in it, and there are a few of the images that it looks like the object that impacted and made one of those craters is still in the crater. And this object's rotating very, very fast. And here's the thing. I put a video out the day before yesterday, and I asked everyone, please do us all a favor, do me a favor, get your cameras out, get your telescopes out, get your video cameras out, go out, look into the southwest region of the sky between 6:45 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. And if you see something coming that shouldn't be there, download the Sky Map application on your cell phone. That's the best little application I could tell you to use, and it works very, very well, and it's very accurate.
It's right. It's great.
Yeah, and listen, man, I got 1,305 emails in 14 hours. Okay? I have not even opened but a few. Okay? And this all started with a few ladies in Alberta, Canada, who started imaging this object in the beginning of September. And she was doing a fantastic job of documenting it with her video camera, documenting it on paper, and every night she was watching it come in. And we've been told that this object is around Sagittarius. Well, when you look at the sky and the region where it's coming from, it's slightly outside of Sagittarius. Now, the information that I got today is a little startling, but it's coming at us. There's a large debris field surrounding it, and I also got some information about the debris field that is around the moon on occasion and the sun. There is more than one object. Now, as far as the other objects, will they interact with Earth? Well, we don't know that just yet. But these objects have been around for a long time. and they've known it. They've known all about it. They just don't choose to say anything. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree they would startle the whole population of the world. But, you know, nowadays people, they get upset about something and the next day they forget about it. But with something like this...
Here's the thing. Hang on for 1 second. Well, I don't know if you guys are looking at the chat room, but I have to address some of the comments in the chat for a minute. First of all, they've got Daza and Astrology wants to talk, and people are screaming at me to unmute them. I would hope that they would be patient and wait, because I'm busy unmuting people that are coming into the chat room, and I've seen a few comments where people have called me some nasty words. I am not going to put up with that. I don't appreciate being called the C word, and if you do it again, I will mute you, and you will not come back into my room.
Here you go. This is exactly what we're saying. They try to turn people Astro Boy couldn't come on and say, "Hey Steve, let's talk about that photograph," or ask a question. He just pushes and pushes, and they don't even let you answer anything, man. They're just so rude. And Dave, man, I mean, freaking New Zealand just rocked under you, man, and you're still not a believer? Come on, dude.
All right, well, some of the people are saying they want to hear the other side, which that's fine.
What?
We will give them a chance I will unmute them, but let's get the guests able to talk first, and also give me time to unmute everybody that's coming into the chat room. I mean,
we have plenty of time.
Right.
You know, we have plenty of time.
No, Tom. Scott, listen. I want them to answer one of my questions first. If they will answer my question first and answer the question, I will have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I agree, because this is not about some photograph that appeared on your show.
No.
On one of your videos.
This is about genocide. This is about them committing genocide. There's evidence that they've known about this all the way back to Alexandria, Scott. And you're talking about Masonic groups knowing about it, and you're talking about, the Vatican hiding it. Well, my question is, why did they hide it? Why have they been hiding it so long? And why do they have an artificial system in the sky right now that is better documented than almost anything I have in my repertoire? Why do they have to have that up there? Why do they need an artificial system?
Yeah, because it was 75 degrees here in southwestern Pennsylvania today. I was ready to turn the air conditioning on, and we're on November 18th.
Yeah, I mean, it's so well documented. It's irrefutable. So why is it there?
Yeah, I mean, here's another bad baby. Here's another huge point. Okay, out of all of the garbage that is on YouTube, that is the total copying of my channel, Steve's channel. I mean, I swear to God, I must have the #1 stolen videos on YouTube related to Nibiru or Planet X.
Group. Check this out. Today, I had a whole European group steal all my videos, and I was like, you know what? They're just replaying the videos. I didn't think anything big of it, but of course it was a trap. So what they did was they waited for me to monetize a website, and then they wanted to make a big deal that they're disassociating from WSO. They were never part of WSO. It's a lying organization. Here's the other thing. Why do they always attack my character? Why can't they attack the data? It's always about my character. Why is it about my character and Scott's character? Why can't it be about the data?
Well, why are they calling me names? I'm just trying to run this board and unmute people and get the show started. We're going to be out here for a long time. Everybody's going to have a chance to have their say. Just be patient. I mean, the first 2 minutes of the show, they want to jump in here and start screaming and yelling, and I'm not going to go for it. I'll keep you on mute, and I mean it. I'm the one that runs this board, so, don't disrespect me.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we go through on a daily basis. Sometimes I have to disable the comments on my YouTube channel, and I will be the first one to admit that, look, I'm a fighter. So I will go back to their channels and I will spam their channels, and I will give them what they gave me. Now, I have, tons of emails that come in, at, the subscribers complaining about these people, and YouTube has made it so hard to block them because of the way they've integrated Google+, and they go around, they're all fake channels, they're fake names, they're not, well, they're real people, but, they hide behind this little fake YouTube persona that they can put up another one in a matter of minutes with a new Gmail account. And this is what they do. So, like I have said before, how can a person sit on my YouTube channel in the comment section of a video 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? When do you go to the bathroom? When do you go to work? How do you pay your bills? You know what? It's not the same person. They're like taking shifts using an account, because I can tell by the way they talk and type and by the wording that they use, but it's two different people using one YouTube account to troll my channel.
Yeah, and that's why I set up a premium site, because just like Ben at Suspicious Observers, I'm using his exact business model, right? And nobody burns down Ben's channel because he has a paid site, right? He's got 350,000 subscribers, but nobody burns him down for his paid site. I'm still going to do free videos every day, Scott. Every single day I'm going to do the same videos I've always done. But when I have really controversial content, or I want to protect my viewers in chat rooms, I'm going to damn well do it, and it costs money to do it, but I'm making it affordable as possible. Here's the thing. Trolls can't pay to get on my site because they can't get a credit card.
Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready to start addressing some of these phone calls?
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, this is not going to be a phone call about a photograph, and then they're going to bring up the Core 2 image that we had of the supposed moon orbiting the sun. We have had so many conversations about this trash. I'm not going to go into it, but if they want to talk about what
we
they
got that
believe in.
Yellow Rose from Texas. Yellow Rose from Texas channel had it on in 2011, and all I did was just replayed it with her permission.
Yeah, so
if you want to know before Astro Boy gets on, though, make sure that he shows, goes back and tells us why he didn't show the time on the bottom.
Yeah, well, that's what he cut off.
Also, I want to let everybody know that's on the phone, California, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, all these people that are called in. If you wish to speak, you need to push *8 and raise your hand so that I know that you would like to ask Scott or Steve a question. And if I have to mute you, if this gets out of hand and I have to mute you, it'll take me a minute because I got to scroll back up and down on this board, and I already have 300 people into the window. So
make it a question. Make it a question, please. If you want to make a point, go ahead. But if you're going to attack my character or character Scott or anything like that, guys, it's over. You guys lost. Stop it. It's not affecting me anymore. So now,
and here's something else. Here's something else that I just wanted to quickly say, and I say this all the time. Okay, this is something that I deeply believe in. Okay, I deeply believe that we have celestial bodies in our solar system, or possibly slightly outside of our solar system, that is and will affect the Earth. There is entirely too much documented evidence from 35 years ago, from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years ago. Okay, it's on a timeline. The men and women that have put their time, their effort, and their knowledge into research and investigations outweighs the naysayers. So this is my personal opinion. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an astronomer. I never, ever make people believe I am anything other than just a plain, common guy who is investigating something that he believes in. And Steve, you're the same way, right? You believe in this.
I believe it 100%, and in fact, I'm becoming every day more convinced of it, and
Me
quite
too.
frankly, quite concerned lately. And so here's what I was thinking about, guys. And before we take a call, I really want you to let people come on and ask questions, because there's a lot of questions to be had about this event, okay? But the biggest thing that just tears at me so hard, guys, is that this is intentional genocide. And
Yes.
nobody's getting pissed about it. They're just accepting it. Oh, it's Armageddon. It's in the book of Revelation. We're just supposed to accept it. Why are we supposed to accept it? I don't accept mass murder. I don't. I'm never going
I'm not going to accept it. I don't care what people do to me. I don't care what they call me. I don't care about any of that. What I care about right now is, hey, listen, I wanted to live out the rest of my days. I'm 48 years old. I've got some time left. I've got 2 children on this earth that actually live in a state which will be wiped the hell out by a tsunami. I may never see them again. I really, honestly, truly feel for people that are helpless. Badbaby, remember the lady that was on the last time that I was on with you, with Robert Evans, the lady that started to cry? She said that she was disabled.
Was Arizona.
Yes. Now, think about all of the people all over the world and the children, the people that cannot protect themselves. So what, are we just supposed to overlook them because you have an astronomy background? I mean, you're a scientist, you're a debunker, so we just overlook the men, the women, and the children, the human beings on this earth? I don't think so.
Nope, I ain't going to do it.
Okay, you guys, we got a lot of people that are raising their hands, so let's start out here. And also, if you're coming into the room and you're not unmuted, just give me a few minutes because I'll have to get back to you. Guest 297, for some reason, it's not letting me unmute you. So let's go and we'll start with Astronomy Live. So he would. Okay, you guys. Someone froze my screen. It is completely keeping me from unmuting anybody. So all I can say is hang in there. I'm going to have to close this window and come back in and reboot it. So hold on and let me try to get a new screen open. See, somebody's already perping us.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
No, because we told the truth again.
Just keep talking, you guys, because
no, man, this is the thing, okay, Scott. This is the thing I've been saying. I wanted to share this with you today. We never got a chance to talk about this, and I've been thinking about this a lot. It's a 3,600-year cycle, okay? We've got eschatology all over the world that talks about just accepting Armageddon and the return and blood up to the bridles of horses and all kinds of stuff. And the eschatology is common in almost all Western religions. So my question is this really prophecy, or is this a script somebody wrote for us?
Yeah, right.
Because if it's a script somebody wrote for us, I don't want to be an actor in it anymore.
Yeah, me either.
Go ahead, man.
I mean, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to enjoy what life I have left on this earth. I don't want to live in the scenes of, like I said, Kurt Russell in the movie, Escape from New York, and Mel Gibson in Mad Max and the Thunderdome.
And
because that's what it would be like.
Right, and every day that goes by that they don't start getting people away from the coast, it's And you know what? What can I do? All I can do is what I'm doing. I've got a YouTube channel. I put out the truth. You put out the truth. We do the best we can with what we've got, and hopefully we make an impact. And what am I asking people to do? I'm asking people to really look up in the sky and tell me and start to ask some questions. That's all.
Well, I'll tell you what. The video that I put up yesterday about everybody getting out there and looking up into the southwest region of the sky, well, I'll tell you what. The emails that I got, and I did open a few hundred. That's all I had the time, to get to today. And the comments under the video, people, I was getting emails from Malaysia, the Philippines, India. I was getting emails from New Zealand, Australia, the UK, Scotland, everywhere all over the United States. So
okay,
you're going to tell me,
and I got control again. So let's start out with Astronomy Live and see what he has to say. Welcome to the call, Astronomy.
Thank you. So the images I was talking about, Steve, were not from Yellow Rose of Texas. They come from your November 14th video.
What's your question, Astro Boy? What's your question?
Why are you using my photos, and why aren't you telling people that they're my photos? Why are you telling people?
Why don't you send me an email?
33 minutes, 40 minutes. I posted a comment, and you deleted it from your channel, informing you that you were using.
Send me an email. You're not allowed on my channel.
I posted a comment. You deleted it. I'm not a murderer. Okay, this is now
you are.
defamation.
You're going to kill people, asshole.
I am not a murderer,
you're
and I'm not going to get people killed.
Okay, hold on.
Can I talk?
Hey.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Hold on. Listen.
I don't
listen.
know. I don't know if I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, listen, both of you guys. Listen, Scott. Maybe it was an inadvertent issue with your photograph, but honestly,
yeah, right.
Okay, but listen, that shouldn't be such a massive.
Oh, it is. This is plagiarism. Okay, I could sue you for stealing my photos.
But do it, please.
Okay. Okay, but look.
I mean, I'm being
guys,
nice here. Okay, I could file a copyright takedown request and just be done with it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to work with you.
Sue me. Do it.
You want me to sue you?
Please do.
Oh my God. You know what?
Well, if you want to go down that way, if that's how this is going to go,
I got my
you're not going to. I guess you're not going to. Okay, I guess you're not going to correct the record. I guess you're not going to, give me proper credit for
Send me an email. Send me an email to my email address, and I'll address it to you personally.
Okay. You haven't been responding to my emails, but I'll send you another one. Okay.
You're claiming that I'm a plagiarist, intentional plagiarist, and you're just a murdering murderer.
I'm not a murderer.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
not killing anyone.
Fucking bloody.
Look.
You're soaked with
whether it's
blood.
Intentional or not, you're using my photos,
You're
and I told you that you were using my photos.
Don't you understand you're soaked with blood?
What?
You're soaked with the blood of innocence.
Children. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
Well, eventually you may be.
This is okay. These are outlandish accusations. Okay. So, Steve, for example, you're inducing fear over field rotation. You uploaded a video showing that the moon was tilting. You uploaded a video the other day showing that the moon was tilting and trying to induce fear over what is actually just normal field rotation. Okay, this is normal from a non-polar aligned perspective.
Wait, time out. Astro Boy, what's field rotation?
Field rotation is the.
It's word salad, asshole.
No, it's not.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. Okay, what's a field rotation?
Yes, lots of people actually do. Go to any star party and ask an amateur astronomer what field rotation is. He'll tell you.
See the moon tilt, asshole. Listen to me. You can see the moon tilt with your own eyes.
Yes, due to field rotation.
Astro Boy, I don't have to have a telescope. I can just look at it and see
exactly.
Are you
that is normal from any non-polar. That is normal from any non-polar line perspective. Are you going to continue talking? Are you going to let me talk?
No, when I was a boy, it didn't tilt.
Okay, well, it did. I have photos of it dating back to the 1970s and 60s showing it tilting. Yes, I do. So we have photos that go back 30, 40 years showing this occurring. I can go back even further if you want to find some photos and show that this happened.
I'm so mad at you because of your murder. It's so hard for me to hold my words together.
I'm not a murderer, okay? Okay, look, it's normal field rotation. It occurs from any non-polar aligned perspective. It occurs, I showed it last night, happening with a normal camera on a normal tripod, but at the same time, it doesn't look like that in a polar aligned telescope. That's because it's field rotation, which is specific to non-polar aligned.
Right now, do you have a polar aligned telescope? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I do.
Where is it?
In Florida.
It's polar aligned, though.
Yes, it's polar aligned. It's aligned parallel to the Earth's
axis. And it makes it really
axis.
special, right? Explain to us what polar aligned means.
Polar aligned means it's aligned parallel to the Earth's axis of rotation. So it only has to turn in one axis to track with the rotation of the sky due to the Earth's rotation.
Isn't that relative to the circumference that you pick around the Earth? And you can call anything relatively. Okay, tell me, did the North Star move recently?
No, it's still where it has been. I can take pictures of it and show you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's moving slowly under the effect of precession, but I can.
How are you going to prove to me the North Star didn't move?
Okay. Well, I'll take a long exposure of the North Star, show its position relative to the center of rotation, known as the North Celestial Pole. Then I'll pull up an old book, an old atlas that shows the coordinates for Polaris from some old atlas, maybe even from the 1950s.
Have you done that?
Yes, I have.
And then when was the last time you did it?
About a month or two ago, and it's still where it should be. Since then, I have used my polar aligned telescope. And it still works, which wouldn't be the case.
Can you show us a picture of it?
Huh?
Can you show us a picture of the North Star perfectly in the middle of a rotating field of stars?
Well, it's not going to be perfectly in the middle because it's about three-quarters of a degree from the North Celestial Pole, which is exactly where it should be. You can find that.
Well, can you show us a picture of that?
Well, I can show you a picture of that. I'd be happy to show you a picture of that. Okay. Well, how do you want to do that? We're on a radio show right now.
Well, send it to me in the email. I'll take a look at it.
Okay.
Listen, I mean, honestly, is the moon going to kill us? No. So, we can probably just end this conversation on this.
No, it's important. It's important because he's making videos that are scaring people over stuff that they're able to see with their eyes, but in truth, it's perfectly normal. It's field rotation.
Wait a minute. You're saying Scott's making videos. He's making videos of information that people are sending to him of pictures that he's getting from around the world.
No, I'm talking about Steve right now.
No, I do too. That was an email that I was from Rockford, Michigan, from a person that watches the moon and has been watching the moon for 2 years. That sent me that.
And you could have done some research on it and found out that this was normal field rotation. I mean,
it's not. So I don't buy your field rotation theory. I don't buy it because here's the thing.
Well, here's the thing, though.
It's not.
Listen, here's the thing.
Yes, it is.
Scott, look, Scott.
I can show you the math on it. If you want me to break it down, I'll show you the math on it. I've got all the equations laid out.
I'll show you the math on it. And then when the people start to die, then you can show us the math. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
Look, here's the thing. Okay,
that's the thing. There's nothing to be worried about.
Well, look, here's the thing, Scott. You want us to just automatically take your word and your math for it. And I've discussed this with you before. Okay?
No, you can. Well, that's the thing about math. You can take it to anybody and you can verify it. You can verify it. It's not just having to take my word for it. When I give you the math, I'm giving you the means to disprove me if I'm wrong. I'm giving you the means to disprove me if I'm wrong.
We've had this conversation before. Okay, many times. Your math can be wrong. The person who checks your math can be wrong. So what's the point?
Then, because somebody can figure it out, all right? If I give you the math, it's up to you to show where it's wrong. Okay,
but see,
it's not up to me to prove a negative. It's not up to me to prove a negative.
Listen.
When the math matches up with reality, that should tell you something about the accuracy of it.
Can we talk to another caller?
Now, if you don't believe it, take it to a mathematician. Take it to a professor. I don't care. You said you contacted 2 professors, and guess what? You didn't. And I guess the reason for that is because you actually suspected my math was probably accurate.
What are you talking about?
And you were worried about the result.
Are you saying
he's talking about me?
I'm talking about Scott. I'm not talking about you now, Steve. I'm talking about Scott. He said he contacted 2 professors about my math regarding the images from Stereo Core 2. And he said that the professor said my math was all wrong, and that he had a 13-page PDF file showing how my math was wrong. he still hasn't produced that PDF because it turns out he didn't actually contact those professors.
I have an honest question for you because I watched your presentation on that and you failed to show the timeline on the bottom. Why did you do that?
Which video?
The video where the video where the planet went around the sun? And you said it was
the moon?
You mean
the Stereo Core 2 images?
Yeah, you said it was the moon, and you cut off the bottom of it. You cut off the bottom of that video. Why did you do that?
No, I did not actually. I'm looking at it right now. I see the bottom. Yeah, I see the bottom of the video, and it says 2007, February 21st.
Look at the time. Look at the time.
Yeah, it says
how much time?
22:03:21.
Okay, but do you have the time down there, like the 1801, 1802, 18?
Yeah,
okay, how much time did it take for that object to move around?
It took about a week for it to move through Core 2.
55 hours.
It was like 55 hours, 18 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, you're full.
No, I'm looking at it right now. It says
question.
February 21st, February 22nd, February 23rd.
We have somebody else because that's misinformation. It was 55.
No, I'm looking at it right
hours.
now.
Yeah, but you know what?
All right, you guys, I'm going to have to
end this guy.
Astronomy, I'm going to have to mute you because
why?
Because
I'm a liar. What?
Okay, Daza is saying that he's paying for this call. I have no idea which one you are, Daza. So, are you calling in as a guest, or are you on the line? I don't see any name here under your name. So, can you mute and unmute, or can you unstar? Let me see. Tell me what number you are.
Oh, I can't wait to see the video on this one.
I know, right?
Let's see Daza.
From Murderville.
Is this you, Daza? Guest 111?
No love in your heart.
That's me.
Okay, well, since we have you unmuted, we will let you talk.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Oh my God. I'll never get that 25 minutes back from that conversation I just lived through. Okay, Scott.
Yes.
Very important. Are you sitting in front of your computer where you can Google something? Because I sent you some information today that I think I figured out what that star is that is heading our way.
Ooh, well, absolutely.
Fascinating. Tell us, please.
It is one of the 67 moons of Jupiter. It has 2 blue moons with it, around it. If you just Google, and it's yellow, and it's got craters because it's full of volcanoes. It's got a trail.
Moon?
It's got a trail of debris that it's bringing behind it.
Okay, but
all
the moon
all of the moons have names.
Okay, you guys,
which moon is it?
It's really hard to understand you when you overtalk each other. I promise I'm probably saying the same thing for everybody.
Which moon is it?
Io.
Io.
Letter O.
Yeah,
okay,
I know the
great.
moon.
Excuse me?
I know the moon that you're referring to.
Okay. I sent you a lot of pictures of that today, and it's full of volcanoes, and it's full of dust and poison. Now, doesn't that sound like making your waters turn bitter when it passes by?
Oh, yeah.
Mom would.
Yeah. We've always speculated. Now, this kind of goes down the BP Earthwatch theory line, right?
Well, I didn't never believe that. But here's my thing. When you look at how many miles it is from Jupiter, it could put it closer to us at a certain time when Jupiter's going out. Plus, today, I also sent you a link to this. There was some lady, her name is Pam, that captured on the ISO of an enormous, I'm talking enormous, which it mimics the red orb that everybody keeps catching in their photos, like a lens flare.
Yep.
And but it's been removed. But I sent you the link through a YouTube video, and the lady that posted it put her link.
I'm sorry, that's because of field rotation. The only reason you saw the red orb in the sky is because of field rotation.
Now you just stop that right now. Here's why we're seeing that. I think this is why we're seeing the moon look different, because we're tilted and we're seeing it at a different angle.
I think you're right, honey. I really do. And I was being facetious before. I really do believe that we're seeing everything from a different angle. I mean, you know, everybody that's my age, and we used to look up and we used to see the North Star. Remember how you could find the North Star by using the Big Dipper? And you use the side of the Big Dipper?
I mean, it don't take an idiot to figure out that the sunset's not right anymore. For God's sake.
Why?
But anyways.
And why do they think that these people, all of us normal people, are stupid? Don't you feel like they're trying to call us just dumbasses when they?
Okay, well listen. It sounds to me he's young. He comes from the time where he can't even tell time on a regular clock. He's been dumbed down.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, can we get back to the Jupiter moon, because I'm pulling some information up about this. And you know what, you are pretty close, because I'm looking at some absolutely amazing, up close, 100% clear images of Io, and it does highly resemble the imagery that was taken last night. 245 images. However, the distance to Earth from this moon, where it is right now, is almost 400 million miles away. Now, the gentleman that took the images last night is pretty deeply involved in astronomy. He has also worked with NASA and the JPL. He's agreed to help me out 2 weeks ago. He has a lot of in-depth knowledge of what's been going on since 1993. And I would definitely hope to God that he would know the difference between Io, I hope that's how it's pronounced, and something else that is coming. Now, we've been...
Scott,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. When BP first brought up the Jupiter craziness, and first he made it sound like NASA was trying to convince us that it was Jupiter, and then he turned around and he bought it. Now, I don't know if what story is true. However, months ago, I remember hearing something on regular TV before I just learned about all of this June 1st. Now,
I know, it's a big shock, isn't it, when you figure it out?
7 years ago, God put me in biblical science, and I never understood why, but I just did it. So I have a BA in biblical science, and I did nothing with it. 7 years later, fast forward, boom, now I know why. It was this. Here's the thing. I remember hearing a announcement on the evening news or something that NASA had noticed that it looked like something had hit Jupiter.
Yeah, we actually reported that.
So
and I think,
what if this Nemesis system hit Jupiter enough to carry it in with it?
That's perfectly plausible.
So maybe this...
Hey, you guys are blocking everybody from joining the chat, you lying fraud motherfuckers.
Hey.
Yay!
To debate you? We got all kinds of stuff to debate you.
You got
on.
a question?
You got a fucking thief? You liar.
I can't find this person. Hold on.
Who the hell was that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Here we go.
Coming in.
Questions.
Hi,
Who was that?
that was a, listen, I'm the one who blocks people, big donation, and I'd like to know how you unmuted yourself if you're not a troll. So you're not welcome here. Hit the road.
Wow. Okay, can we go back? Can we jump back to the to the moon of Jupiter, to Io?
Yes.
Because I mean, I'm looking at absolutely impeccable images, better images than what we were able to take, because the images that are shown.
They're from NASA. They're closer.
Oh yeah, they're taken from a probe, a craft, the Galileo.
Do you see the crater on there that looks like what you guys thought that something hit into the planet that stuck into
very,
it?
very similar. Very, very similar. Well, here's the thing, though. This is what I wanted to point out. You're definitely right. It definitely you've caught my eye. You've caught my attention on the similarity of these two objects.
Maybe they got knocked loose from Jupiter's orbit too. We don't even know that.
That would be a possibility. But listen, here's the thing. Okay, this moon is almost the same size as our moon.
Our moon, yeah.
And okay, now if our moon was 400 million miles away, it would look like a little. We wouldn't even see it.
How do you know it's 400 million miles away?
I'm reading the information directly from the complete description of Io. It gives everything.
But that's when it's positioned at its furthest point. I bet you.
It doesn't say its furthest point. It gives its. Hold on, where it is. It gives its. Its furthest point.
You believe NASA?
No. This isn't NASA.
I'm kidding.
This is all. This is all of the information that is on Wiki. For this planet, it gives everything about its atmosphere, its surface, its volume, its mass, its density, its surface gravity.
It's very violent. It's a very violent planet.
Yeah, it is.
The thing about it is, we don't really know for sure when that was written, and where was it located at the time that they made that they distinguished that it was 400 million miles away from us.
The Galileo.
Scott, can I talk? I'd like to come in. So we saw, and also there were other amateur astronomers that captured these strikes on Jupiter in, I think it was March, and then later.
Yeah.
And you're referring to that stuff. So let's say that was like objects that were large enough to, alter or maybe cause magnetic interaction between objects, and maybe that's a debris field. All those different theories, right? But could this system theoretically pull another planet from Jupiter in? Of course it could, because if it has the magnetic strength that we're estimating that it has, it will throw any number of objects out of their orbit. Now,
well, can I say that when I was watching videos today, that it was proven that our astrobelt, what is it called?
Astrobelt?
Okay, that was actually where another planet was, and they think that it got hit by Nibiru eons ago, coming up through. And okay, so also Pluto used to be Saturn's moon, and it knocked it back behind Jupiter. This is, these are things that people are coming up with ancient texts from the Sumerians.
Okay, guest 111, we're going to have to move on because we have other people that are waiting. And no, I'm not ignoring the chat. You people that don't like my moderating, I'm sorry. Thank you, guest 111. We can get back to you later. Okay, now, everyone's complaining, you guys. They want Daza out here. I'm going to ask him real quick. Is he? I think he said he was SPSLK212. Could he push *8? I'm going to ask him if this is him. Is this you, Daza? Nope. Okay. I can only see if you're logged in as a guest or a screen name, and I don't see your screen name. So here we have one that's real story. I don't know. Daza is choking on a sandwich, someone said. Okay. And thank you so much for all the wonderful comments, people, saying that I'm a terrible moderator. I just love you all for that.
See, honey, don't see. That's what they want to do. They want us to feel like we're stupid. They want us to feel like we don't know anything. They want us to feel like our experiences don't mean anything.
Scott, you're paying me. They're saying that you're paying me, so I'm expecting my check soon.
Yeah, speaking of checks, Scott. No, I'm just kidding, man.
Okay, let's unmute this person, Jeff 8059. Welcome to the call, Jeff 8059. You had your hand raised.
No,
Dave. Now, in all seriousness, though, before Daza does get on, I honestly was worried about him. And Scott, you can vouch for this. I constantly was asking about his whereabouts. Was he okay? I do not.
I'm having a hard time figuring out who he is. So maybe he's this one, Guest 183.
I was worried.
Hello, can you hear me?
I think I hear Davey.
Hello.
Hey,
hello,
Guest 183. Is this you, Daza?
This is Daza, the cameraman. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, David.
Okay. Thank you, Badbaby. And first of all, I'd like to appeal to you, Badbaby, and just say that I'm here to be totally polite and respectful. I'm hoping open and balanced discussion without any name calling or disrespect or anything like that.
I'm so into that, David. Because the reason that Astro Boy gets me so mad is because he accuses me of plagiarism and things that are not true. So I will be absolutely polite with you if you're polite with me.
Well, absolutely.
Okay, and you guys, please not talk over each other. Give each other each chance to speak.
David always tries to be polite, and I do give you that, David. Please, go ahead and with your question, please.
Okay. Yes, now I'd just like to address that point that Steve just made without being talked over, please, if possible. And that is that the images that you have used in your recent video are indeed images by Astronomy Live. And you have asked him to send you an email, and I'm sure that he will, but I can assure you that the images...
And we can go, but we already addressed that. Do you have a question, another question now?
Badbaby, would you please allow me to talk? Thank you.
Yeah, let him talk.
When I ask a question, Steve, I will give a chance to go without... And I just ask the same respect, please. Okay, so Astronomy Live will send you an email. I can assure you that it is his image, as he's demonstrated in recent videos.
And if it is, I would never intentionally use one of your images or anybody else's images without permission. So if it happened, it was a mistake. And I really don't care because mistakes get made like that all the time. And if there was a mistake, I'll correct it. But I haven't seen an email written to me or any kind of document sent to me.
Okay, well, the Astronomy Live has posted a video showing...
I don't watch your videos.
Excuse me, I don't jump in. I let you talk. I ask that you have the courtesy for me. Thank you.
Oh, but I just wanted to ask you a question. Were you assuming that I was going to watch all the videos and listen to the BS that you guys put out?
Well, we're talking about a claim have used...
No, it's a serious question. Are you expecting me to watch your stuff?
You're talking over me again, Steve. You ask me a question, I start to answer, and then you...
No, I have a little delay in my phone. I'm not trying to do it on purpose. Honestly, there's a delay. I can't help it.
Then it's going to be pointless, isn't it? I was invited on the show by...
Just stop bitching and ask your question.
To debate about...
If all you're going to do is bitch about your politeness, just ask your question.
Now, you were talking about this object in the western sky. I was looking at that object last night, actually. I was looking at that object last night, and I'll take some images of it for you later, and I will also replicate what we see in Scott's image of this object with all of the craters in it. What we are seeing is the planet Venus, and it is filmed very badly out of focus. And as the cameraman, I can tell you that those things that look like craters are simply the blemishes on the lens of the camera, which show up when the camera is badly out of focus. I will simulate this. I've actually already done this filming the bright star Sirius the other night. I'll do the same thing with Venus, and I will upload that to my channel. It is not Nibiru, Planet X, or anything other than Venus. Go ahead.
Okay, Daza, let me ask you a question. If you're a believer that this planet doesn't exist, why is it that Iraq and Russia have come out on their news, on their mainstream news, and said that this planet is coming?
Right.
I assume that you're talking about a recent article on the RT.com network. Is that correct?
No, I'm talking about their mainstream news. You go into YouTube and you can just put in there that Iraq news came out about Nibiru, and if you can see the video where they were right on the news revealing to their public that Nibiru is on its way.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of talk in the background. There's somebody with a male voice just talking in the background.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did I mute you?
Am I still here?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who's talking in the background. So there are some people that are coming in that are for some reason they're able to unmute themselves. And I don't know why. Here it is, right here. Okay. I apologize for that. I have to go through a lot of calls here to figure out who's perping us. So
I was really
interested.
Yeah, I was really interested in the question that you asked Dave, and very much like to hear his answer.
Yes, absolutely. Well, of course, I would have to see the video to know which one that we're talking about, which is a bit hard to do on a radio.
Ooh, then you have to give us the same courtesy when you start springing the stuff on us.
And let me ask the question without speaking. Ask you courtesy. Thank you. I saw a video from RT.com the other day which claimed that there was a brown dwarf within our solar system. And upon looking further into the video, it became very clear that the article was misreported, and it's actually a brown dwarf, which was, as I recall, about 16,000 light years. I've been meaning to do a follow-up video about that, but there's been a lot happening. It certainly is not within our solar system, the one that they were talking about. It was misreported, and I guess you need to remember that the reporters are not astronomers, and for some of them it is very easy to make such a mistake and they misunderstand the information being given. Go ahead.
Okay. I had a question, too. So you're saying that the only valid information that you could ever look at would have to come from an astronomer?
Well, if I wanted car fixed, if I wanted the engine in my car fixed, I wouldn't take it to a plumber, would I?
I know. That didn't answer the question, though. Are you saying that everybody else, other than people that have high levels of training in astronomy, are just basically dumbasses and can't see things?
What I am saying is that the images that we're seeing on your YouTube videos and others are lens flares and anything but.
Well, before you say that, I would have to know which one you're talking about.
You let me answer it. You asked me a question.
Yeah, you're doing you again. I'm sorry, Dave. Just get over it, man. I have a 2-second delay. I can't help it.
Okay. Now, all right. If there was a brown dwarf within our solar system, and according to the Nibiru Planet X believers, Nibiru is supposed to be several times the size of Jupiter, correct?
I don't follow that belief.
Yeah, neither do I.
No,
well,
I don't believe that at all.
Can you tell me what size you believe that Nibiru Planet X would be approximately?
I don't believe there is a Nibiru Planet X per se. I think it's a solar system with 8 planets in it, and I don't know how many moons.
Okay, can you tell me approximately how big those planets would be in that solar system?
I can't, because I can't get good data because they put these big screens up in the sky, Daza, where I can't see stuff. They have these big light systems and Fresnel lenses and all kinds of stuff. We can't see any of it.
Okay.
We get like little flashes here and there when the Fresnel lens isn't working right. We'll sometimes get a clear picture of a planet, but most of the time they have lenses up there where we can't see it.
Right.
And that's, I think I've conclusively proven that through the collaboration with Jeff P. and with Scott, where we got the photograph of the lens in space using 35 millimeter film. Did you see the photograph?
Yes, I did, and I saw that there was no documentation of how the photographs were taken, how they were processed, what sort of camera was used, what sort of processing was used.
You will continue to ask questions until no.
Me.
I wasn't done asking my question of you. I was still going, and you interrupted me again. What are you doing, man? Stop interrupting me. So stop interrupting me. So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Look,
David, listen.
I could answer that question. I could answer that question very, very, very easily. I could answer that question. I mean, I receive, and I know you guys ridicule me and, talk about, oh, he gets all these emails. Well, yes, I do. I get probably close to 1,000 emails a day. And I can't expect every single person to be super efficient by documenting all of that material and data that you want. Now, I did have a lady that stopped in the middle of a highway because she saw something very unusual in the sky, and she literally almost caused an accident. She stopped her car, pulled off of the road, took her cell phone, pointed it up, and she caught one image of this round object, and it looks exactly like this Fresnel lens. It looks exactly identical. It even had a little bit of the prism effect in it. I have the photograph. It was taken in Fresno, California on a freeway, but, regardless of the cell phone 10-cent camera that she used, she saw it with her bare eye. So, yeah, maybe it could have been an optical illusion, but we can't expect every single person that we're asking to keep their eyes in the skies because, Dave, this is what we believe in. You believe that there's nothing there. We believe that there is something there.
Something there. I believe it. It's not a lie, and that's the other thing that I don't appreciate is people impinging upon my integrity and character. I 100% believe everything I'm saying. Now,
I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in UFOs. I believe in spirits and the afterlife. But these are my beliefs. I'm not pushing them on
guys,
other people.
We're gonna have to move on, and please don't talk over each other. It's very hard to listen to. I do want to ask Daza one question, and then we're going to have to mute you back, or you can come into the chat through your computer, so you don't have to pay. But I don't understand why you would tell people that this planet doesn't exist when there are so many people that have had inside information that if you go back into my archives, I've interviewed many, many people. I've interviewed John Moore, and he has spoke with military government officials that have had meetings about this planet coming in. So I don't understand how just because you look through a telescope and say that, oh, this is what I see and this is what it is, how you know more than the people that are in government.
Okay, well, first of all, there are a lot of fakers out there, and anybody can claim.
Sorry.
Oh, hang on. You're going to start talking over me again, Steve. Okay, there are a lot of fakers out there, and anybody can claim to be somebody that they're not. That's very easy to do. And unfortunately, people just tend to assume that they're telling the truth, especially in this sort of community. Now, in answer to your question about why I can say with such certainty that there is no such object, it is because for the same reason that we can all see with our own naked eyes without any telescope the planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn very easily in the sky because they all reflect sunlight, okay? Now, if there was a brown dwarf within our solar system, and a brown dwarf is several times the size of Jupiter, then it would reflect sunlight just like all of the other planets do. People say that brown dwarfs can only be imaged in infrared. Well, that is true for one very good reason, because the nearest brown dwarfs are so very far away that they are too far away from our sun to reflect any visible light. The nearest brown dwarf is 6.5 light years away from our sun, which is in fact 2 light years further away than within the nearest star system to our sun. If there was a brown dwarf within our solar system, it would reflect visible light just like all of the other planets do, and it would be just as bright as the other planets such as Jupiter or Venus, depending, of course, on its distance. There is something very unusual in the sky at the moment, as far as most people are concerned who are not familiar with the sky, and that is the planet Venus, which is extremely bright, and it's going to get brighter as well. And yes, I'm going to go out with my camera, and I'm going to film that with the camera defocused, and I'm going to replicate what we see in Nibiru Planet X's video. I've no doubt that that lady who stopped her car saw Venus, jumped out, grabbed her camera.
I got to interrupt you because you're just talking on and on. You were saying that John Moore was lying?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. Okay. All right.
I can't agree with you. I can't agree with you.
I know John Moore personally. He's no liar. I can tell you that.
No, I know John Moore personally, too, and I don't agree with you. He is not a liar. And he has met with military insiders, and I do agree with his information. I do think it's valid.
Okay, Badbaby, I respect your views on that, but obviously we will have to agree to disagree on that point.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in, Gaza, and I'm going to have to move on. I have other people that have their hands raised.
Before you go, I just want to say that Scott from Nibiru Planet X 2016 did invite me specifically and Astronomy Live onto the show to debate the claims about Nibiru Planet X 2016. That was my understanding of coming onto the show, and I uploaded a video so that the other viewers come to the show and listen in. That was the agreement that Scott, and I have the emails between Scott and I. That was the agreement of Astronomy Live and I coming onto the show. Okay.
Well,
I had one more question for Dave.
I didn't know anything about that until the show began. So, but I did post it that if people wanted to ask questions, and there have been a lot of people waiting with their hands raised, so I have to be fair and give everybody their chance to speak.
May I ask Dave one more thing, please? Because I really do want to ask you this, Dave. How is your home? How is your family? Is everything okay down in New Zealand for you? What was the damage locally that you had? I was really concerned about you, honestly.
Locally, I'm pleased to say that we had no damage where I live. I did feel the earthquake. It was very strong. I was more concerned for my family who lived down in Christchurch.
Yes.
And that was, it was believed initially where the earthquake was centered, but it turned out that it was actually centered further north up the South Island. My family in Christchurch were okay. They were very badly shaken by the earthquake. The damage around the epicenter of the earthquake is a lot more severe than what we thought initially, which is often the case after an earthquake because of communications being down. There's severe damage that's been done, and it's just, I thank God that there's only 2 people who have died as a result of the earthquake.
We do, and again, we did pray for you, and we're sorry that happened there.
I was actually, did make a remark about the earth swallowing him up, but I was just joking around, Dave.
Yes, yes, that was posted in a comment, I believe, on my YouTube channel that Shane the swallowed as a up.
I wasn't joking, man.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just glad you're okay, and it wasn't truly a 7.8 because. Obviously, you would have better information than any of us would have, and just wild earthquake. Now, what do you think? Is that just normal tectonic plate shifting, in your opinion?
Absolutely. New Zealand has a long history of earthquakes. We're sitting right on the boundary between the Australian and the Pacific plate, and I have personally experienced many strong earthquakes through my life. I'm nearly 50 years old. I particularly remember the 1987 Edgecombe quake, which did a lot of damage. That was fairly close to where I live.
Thank you for letting me.
I do think it would be fair on Astronomy Live. I think he got cut short earlier to let Astronomy Live back on the show and answer a few more questions.
Yeah, I will.
Why?
He just wants to bicker about a photograph. I mean, he just wants to bicker about a photograph.
Yeah, it's no. All you have to do is
we're not going to sit here and argue about, the same thing over and over again. There's too many people in the window, and there are others that would like to ask questions. So thank you guys for coming on, and I appreciate your point of view. But like I said, I'm going to have to disagree with you, especially on the John Moore topic.
Do you have any experience as an astronomer, Badbaby?
I'm just a radio host, sweetie, but I've interviewed quite a few people, and I do have John Moore's video. He sent me his DVD, and I've had people come to me and ask me, will you interview me? And I won't interview you unless I believe in what you're talking about. So, I've had so many people on here. Last week I had David Mead on. So, I've had many credible people on here that do have credible information about Planet X. I've had Gil Brizard on. So, and I'm sorry, I just have to go with I believe that this is going to go down. Now, David said last week that he believes we have 11 months left. So I guess in 11 months we'll find out, won't we?
Right. And if in 11 months we're still sitting here all just discussing things like we are today and still waiting for Nibiru to turn up, what then do we say? Well, somebody else has come along and they're saying that it's arriving in 2018 because this is the pattern.
I still can't get past you calling John Moore a liar. How could you say that about somebody, man? You don't know John Moore. How could you say that about him?
You're changing the subject there. I asked a specific question.
No, I got to go back to John Moore because I'm not done with that yet. Why? How do you call him a liar? Just out of the blue, do you know him?
Nibiru hasn't arrived.
Have you ever met John?
People have been saying since 2003.
Have you met him? Have you ever talked to John Moore?
People have been saying.
You called him a liar. I'm not going to get off it. Where do you get off calling an honorable veteran of our military, a leader in our country, a patriot 100%? He is trusted by literally hundreds of thousands of people. And you just step up and just call him a liar out of the blue? How can you do that?
I know, man. That's the Liberty man.
Let me ask you this question, John.
Let me ask him one question, you guys. Now, don't talk over us. Why do you think John Moore would come out and lie about this?
Well, okay,
he's not making no money. Scott's not making no money off this. I'm not making no money off this. Steve's not making no money. I don't want to hear this crap in the chat room that we're getting paid because that's BS.
That is such BS.
Scott and Steve are making money from their YouTube earnings, but going back to John Moore, did he not say that Nibiru would be arriving here in 2012 and that there were going to be all sorts of disasters?
No, he never said that.
No, he never said that.
No, he did not.
Well, it's ending that he did.
Do you have this? Oh, man. See, again, why are you impinging on people's character? Why can't we stick to the facts? The fact is that this man gave us a testimony. And in court, if he was under oath, that would be considered a fact. And John Moore would swear on a Bible right now.
Steve,
I know
what did John Moore...
Okay, Gaza, I'm going to thank you for coming on, and I'm going to mute you back because I do have other people that have been patiently waiting. So, maybe we could have you come back again and we'll continue talking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I get really excited. I'm sorry because John is such an honorable man. I could never hear anybody call him a liar. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I agree.
He's a veteran of our country. He's a father, a grandfather, and he is a great person as far as I'm concerned. Now let's continue.
I've never heard him.
All right, we're not going to play games and listen to the nonsense. Jeez. Oh,
yeah, I've never heard John.
Got every idiot. Okay, let's go here. Welcome to the Call Real Story. You have a question?
Well, yes. I just want to say, hey, Scott, this is Ali from Fresno, California. How you doing, guy?
What's going down, my brother?
I just want to say thank you, Badbaby, for letting me be on the show, and I say hi to Steve Olson too. I've been following you for a while. I just want to tell you guys thank you for your guys' job that you guys do. But to let you know, I emailed you guys both right now just to shut how you call it, Daza and Astro Boy Live up. There's a blue planet coming on right here, right now. I emailed you guys both. I need you guys both to verify that for me right now. There's a blue planet right here in California that I just took with my damn camera.
I'm on it, like Blue Bonnet, and I got your email right there. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
right there. So they can't tell me. They could try to debunk all that, whatever they want. Number one, let me tell them, I'm going to debunk them right now. Number one, I got a brother and an uncle that are in the FBI. My uncle that's in the FBI had warned me about this planet already coming because they had warned him. Second of all, I have a brother that's in the Army. His generals told him to get his family ready, prepared, because something is coming. I found out about this planet coming in 2011. Okay, I've been studying this since 2011. Since then, just to let you guys know, all what these guys are doing right here is just nothing but deceiving people. They're trying to let everybody know nothing's gonna happen. They're paid government trolls, man. You know, that's the main thing I get mad about this, because I see that they put everybody who's out there trying to put the truth out there, they put everybody down. Everybody down. They try to debunk everything. Everything always has to be lens flares or has to be this and that, or some kind of excuse that they have. The only excuse that I see that they have is that they have no excuses anymore. They ran out of excuses. They don't know what else to say anymore.
I would have to agree with you 100%. Steve, I just texted you Alex's picture.
Oh, I've got it. I actually have my email. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's a blue object. It's similar to the one that Ron and I saw behind the Fresnel lens. I can never pronounce that. And what it did when we saw it through the Fresnel lens is it actually made it look bigger than it is. I'm not saying that this is the same object, but hey, Alex, what direction were you pointing when you took the picture?
I was pointing between south. Let me see. Well, basically what we did, we work with with Scott and the Nibiru channel. We're the ones that help them out, and we dubbed this star already the Southwest Star. Just as the Chinese had theirs, a guest star, we already dubbed this one the Southwest Star. That's the way we're keeping it. We don't even call it a star anymore. Once we get on, we say, how's our buddy doing? The Southwest Star? Yeah. Well, basically, I was facing, let me see, southwest. I was facing south.
South, okay. Due south?
Yeah, due south. I was facing due south.
Okay, I'm going to look at Solar System Scope real quick, Scott. Do you have any comments on that? Or?
Well, to tell you the truth, I mean, for the last 2 weeks, you know, I've been getting the emails, the photographs, and the videos from, you know, people in Canada, a lot of people in the northern section of North America. And they've been documenting this object coming in. And in their video presentations, they are showing Venus off to the right. They are showing Mars in the distance, and this object coming directly between the two. So, you know, that's why I would have to kind of discredit the whole this is Venus, because right now I have my little telescope sitting on my porch because I have got a perfect south view when Venus comes up from the horizon. I have my telescope beamed on it right now. Before the radio show, I spent time looking at it, okay? It's not Venus that these people are imaging and taking photographs of. I'm sorry, but it is just not Venus. We all know what Venus looks like.
I have to agree with you guys on that, too. It's not Venus. I don't care what they try to tell us. They can go ahead and throw whatever they want, but that's not Venus, let me tell you. And whatever that lady was drinking, I want to have what she was drinking, too, because I believe that's not even one of Jupiter's moons, because Jupiter does get close, but it does not get that close, let me tell you. If that was the case, we would be seeing this. I would have been seeing this when I was a kid. I'm 40 years old. I would have been seeing this since I was a kid, seeing this planet coming, whatever it is, coming closer. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Solar System Scope. I don't mean to interrupt, but I've got this on Solar System Scope. So we do have Uranus in the southwest sky. So my question was this blue object on or near the ecliptic?
Let me see. It was near.
That would be really far. That would be a really far. I mean, you were using what, a video camera?
Yeah, I don't see a video camera taking that quality of a picture of you
at
this point.
No, there's no way.
Maybe a really good telescope could get that picture though, like a
but
super good
not
one.
a camera.
I don't. That was my camera I took. That was my camera.
Yeah,
I have, like I told you, I have a Nikon. I have a Nikon.
Yeah, you're not going to image Uranus.
Okay, well, that's not Uranus then. That's something else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you for sharing, though. I mean, and I do appreciate you being a listener. And the thing I like about what you're doing, though, is you don't take our word for it. You never have you?
No, you know what? I'm open-minded. In the beginning, I was like Gil Bassard, I have to say. I was skeptical about this coming in, you know. It took me about 2 months for me to actually digest that, you know, this was going to happen. I started going through it. But you know what? I listen to you guys. I take you guys' word. You know, I let it come in. I process it. And, you know, like you guys say, you know, like we always say, Steve, you know, we come out with our own conclusions. You know, we have to do that for ourselves, you know. But now that I see that everything. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is these guys like that have opposed us so much have been assuming that the people that we're talking to are idiots, and I hate that. It's insulting to everybody because these are people that go outside and look themselves. These are people that do their own research. Let me tell you something. You want to see somebody debunk me? If I put a photograph up or something that doesn't have any validity to it, my subscribers will be the first one to tell me. I don't need Daza to tell me what's not right. My subscribers will do it.
Yep. And like me, I don't have no respect for Daza or Astro because all what they are is deceivers, man. They're gonna kill everybody. That's all they're trying to do. I have no respect for them at all. No respect at all.
Astronomy Live just unmuted himself again, and I don't know how he can do that. He just unmuted himself again.
I'll tell you why he could do it, because he's a government patrol. They give him the keys to do whatever he wants, and that's how he's doing it. It's simple. Yeah. Everybody's got to see that now. He's a government patrol.
Nobody else can do this. You know, I mean, I'm the one who controls muting and unmuting. I muted him back. He hung up. He called back in, and he unmuted himself again.
You know what he's using? That Cracker Jack decoder ring.
All right, well, I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate everything you guys do for us. You know, I love you guys, and you know, I mean, I'm a big fan of you guys. And like I told Scott already, Steve, you know, I'll take a bullet for that guy. He already knows I'm down to go for them. You know, if anybody got anything to say, Steve, about you, you know what I mean. Hey, as of right now, you're no longer an acquaintance. I consider you a friend now. So hey, I got your back 100%, man. Scott knows that already.
My brother.
Don't worry about that, man. I got your back, man. We got a lot of love for you guys.
You got it, buddy.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
You got it, man. Great picture, by the way.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. You know, have a nice day, and thank you very much, Badbaby, for letting me be on here.
Thank you, Real Story. Call back in again.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, man.
Okay, these are the types of people that I have on my channel and that Steve has on his channel. And for a couple of people to consider these two populations of people just complete idiots is very insulting, because I'm dealing with people all over the world. I mean, like I said, I got some emails today from Malaysia, from the Philippines, from all over the United States, from the UK. I get so many people from New Zealand and Australia. Okay, so people in Dave's own country are telling me what they're seeing. And they know about it. They know
the Southern Hemisphere is
him.
picking it up. Let me let these people know, the ones that are on the phone, if you wish to speak to Scott or Steve, please push *8 to raise your hand. And we have another caller here from North Carolina. Okay, people are raising their hands now. Okay, let's go to North Carolina. North Carolina, welcome to the call.
Hello, this is Luann.
Hey, Luann, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I just went out and looked to see if that blue star is out there, and it is. It's out there. It looks like a bright star, but it has a bluish hue to it. This is from the naked eye.
Well, Sirius is out there right now. It's quite bright and blue.
Hey,
but it's not in the south. It's not in the south sky though.
Yeah, I know.
Well, okay. Then take a picture with a.
He unmuted himself again.
Yeah, that's
That
all right.
was Astronomy Live.
He's making himself look foolish.
Yeah,
really
you know
is.
what? I'll just mute you back. I will unmute you and give you your chance, but don't. I'm going to unmute you when I'm ready to unmute you. I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead, continue.
Go ahead, yeah.
I have a question for Steve.
Go ahead.
Okay, I just saw on Leak Project today, they have a homestead thing in the Ozarks, but that is just so far away from me. And I was just wondering if we have something like that in the North Carolina mountains, and would you be having that on the website? I'm a founding member, by the way. So
right on. Yep. So what we did was we're putting together a forum inside the website that will be protected from trolls and outside influences, where people that have property or different services that they'd like to, and most of the people give, most of the landowners that we had in the first round that are still identified, that would take people in if something did happen, in an emergency. They're still there, and so a lot of people are just getting together and building little communities all over the place, and you will be able to come in as a founding member into that chat room and talk to people of like mind for you to find somebody to hopefully work with.
Okay,
That's a good idea. That's a beautiful idea. I like that.
And the only reason that they say that we make all this money, right? So the average amount of money on my big 50,000 channel right now is somewhere between $3,500 and $4,500 a month, okay? Now, if you take taxes out of that, I wanted to ask how many people can make a living on that? A lot of people could, okay? I'm not saying that that's not a lot of money, but I'm just saying $2,000 a month is not near the compensation necessary for the 100 hours a week I work doing this. And so how do you make a living when you can't, when you're trying to do this thing? So we asked for donations, and many people donated because they believed in what we were doing, and they put me to a point where I can now do this 100% full-time, full-tilt boogie. I've got my first assistant, Cricket. She's on board from Michigan. She's going to help us with all any problems that we have when we're on the road. I mean, we're growing, but we're investing everything back into the ministry. I guarantee it.
Well, I mean, when you start delving into this whole excuse again about making money, okay, when you're dealing with YouTube, nobody watching a YouTube video is paying a dime. Google and YouTube are nothing but advertising companies, okay? I spent 22 years in international marketing and advertising. I know all about it, okay? These are the platforms that they choose to use. If you think Google is a search engine, you are dead wrong. They are an advertising conglomerate, the same as YouTube. That's why you have monetized ads. And in order to get the content, you would have to pay millions of content creators to create the content and the videos so they can sell the banner ads to the companies that want to buy them. So if you buy YouTube Red and subscribe to that, well, okay, now you are paying money, but you're paying money for a subscription to YouTube Red. But YouTube is free. And there are many, many, many other sites out there that pay content creators to put the content up, and believe me, out of $1, okay, Google takes 50 cents, YouTube takes 25 cents, you get 25 cents, but the government gets 15 cents of that, and you get a dime, a stinking dime. So if you're not getting 20 million views a month, then you are barely making a living, if you want to even call it that. So when these debunkers use the excuse that you're just doing it for the money and the views, bullshit. Okay?
I would never do this for money because, you know what? It was, to me, Scott, it was a calling, okay? When I started to learn about this, I said, I got to do something. I was always the kind of guy that if I saw danger or something coming, I'm not the kind of guy to sit down and just wait for it to come. I'm the kind of person who will stand up and say, hey, let's get ready for this thing. Let's brace, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? We're both educated men. I don't have to sit here and take this freaking abuse. 10, 12,
Scott,
14.
Scott, we got lots of people that have their hands raised, so I want to thank you, North Carolina. Let's move on and take these questions.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
Okay, here we go with Central Colorado. Welcome to the call, Central Colorado. Do you have a question for Scott or Steve?
Yes, I do. Hi, Scott. Hi, Steve. Hi, Badbaby. Thank you for letting me come on the show. My name is Kim.
Hello. How you doing, Kim?
Fair to partly cloudy. Anyway, I've been listening to Scott for a little bit since last year, 2015. Learned about all this stuff happening, and it kind of really shocked me. I try to let my daughter know, and she lives right next door to me, and she thinks that I'm on drugs and I need to go get counseling. And I try to give her, some stuff off of YouTube so she could watch it and research it for herself, because I wasn't just going to try to convince anybody about it, And I've let my friends know and things like this, and everybody just turns around and looks at me and goes, yeah, I guess you're just crazy, aren't you?
Yeah. Well,
they want those was crazy too, honey.
Well, I have the perfect answer for what you're going through. And I just had this conversation with another individual today. If you go back 30 or 40 years ago, and anybody who saw a UFO and you mentioned it and you talked about it, they thought you were crazy.
Oh yeah, they thought you were insane.
Yeah, exactly. But today, if you mention, oh, I saw a UFO, well, guess what? You got a good conversation.
Yep.
But
most people out here in Colorado, they've seen a lot of stuff. My son and me, we've seen this one UFO. It was over right above where the KOA camp is. I live off of I-70 and in Strasburg, which is like probably about 90 miles, 190 miles away from the Kansas border. We're out in the eastern plains. So, we don't have any interference with a whole bunch of lights out here, so we can see the sky pretty good,
Yeah.
And I sent in a picture to you about the supermoon seeing the red planet underneath it. And I don't know if you received it or not. I'm not really good at doing emails. But anyway, out here, me and my son witnessed this UFO and neighbors too, for about 2.5 hours. It stayed up in the sky, probably about northeastern part from where we live. It stayed up there for 2 hours. It moved around, up and down, backward and forward. It was blue, red, and that was it. It had no other lights than that. It looked kind of small, but when a plane went underneath it, it was bigger than the plane. So it was wow.
But do you see what I mean, though, about your friends? If this was 30 years ago or 40 years ago and you mentioned the UFO, they would think you're nuts. But today, in 2016...
I'll be 48 on Sunday, so yeah, I know. Back then,
you're the same age as me.
Like you're nuts. Huh?
And this is you're the same age as me. This is something new to pretty much of all society. There are millions and tens of millions of people who've never even heard of this. Eventually, they will as it leaks out. I have very heated conversations with friends and family about what I do, the knowledge that I've gained. And I heard about this in 1989 when I was in college at the University of Miami. Okay,
I heard about it when I was in junior high at Wheeler's Junior High out here in Colorado in 1983, right when they told President Reagan, I think, because there was a whole bunch of stuff going around in school about it that we were checking out on, the news. I never really got into it because I was too much into smoking pot and hanging out with my friends,
That's awesome. Hey, but that's true. I mean, it doesn't it seem like you had to be a little older? Like, I don't know what this is. And guys, I'm not trying to say that this is only older people know about this, okay? But it tends to be people over 45.
Yeah.
And the reason I think it is because we just know what it used to look like.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've seen it. It was even in the Rocky Mountain newspaper. They reported about it. They were talking about it was called Planet X back then. They didn't have a name for it yet. And they're saying it was coming closer, but it wasn't going to be in our universe. It was like, surrounding our universe or something like this, and that we might get a view on it in 20 years or something,
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Colorado. We have to move on. We have quite a few people waiting.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate everything you do for me and for my friends and everybody. It takes a lot of courage doing. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome.
Okay, somebody just put in the chat, we have 10 minutes left. We are going to honor these people that have their hands raised, and we will go over time tonight, so don't worry about the time factor. We have a caller from Hawaii. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I got so many people coming in. Welcome to the call, Hawaii.
Yes, hi. My name is Lisa, and I live on the Big Island of Hawaii. And about the last 2-3 months, my partner and I have been taking pictures of the sunrise and the sunset. And we've been capturing some wonderful pictures just with our iPhone and some videos. We've sent them off to you guys. I don't know if you've got them or not. But the other day, we were listening to one of Steve's talk shows, and he was talking about the Earth doing a tilt on November 12th and the 13th. And that particular day, we're commercial fishermen. We were out fishing and had been on the water. Everything was normal until we got in back on land, and our equilibrium was very off, very unbalanced. And we were unbalanced until the next afternoon. And I was just kind of wondering, I know it sounds out there and kind of far, but after listening to your talk show about the Earth doing a tilt, on those exact same days, I was just kind of curious if you think that there's something to do with that's maybe what we were feeling. It was
like something related to that.
Yeah, I think it is, because now, this is the thing. So they're saying, I'm not saying that the moon is tilting or the Earth is tilting. I'm saying when you look at the moon and this guy that looks at it all the time, and the moon is supposed to show us the same face all the time. Is this not true?
Yep.
Right.
And it's not anymore. It twists and turns, right? And we all know that. All the old timers know that, okay? And so when we see that, it could, I think that it's more likely that the Earth is tilting than the moon, because the Earth has got so much a larger magnetic signature. And when you look at the magnetograms, for example, from NASA and the ACE satellites and things like that, what you notice is the Earth actually does make connections with the other planets and with the sun. In fact, you can go on to the NASA site, and you can see where the Earth connections are on the sun. So the Earth has a lot more magnetic magnetism to it, pull, right? So we're more likely to catch a north-south polarity than the moon. It doesn't seem like the moon has as much of a magnetic signature, right?
Correct.
So for me, I think the Earth is tilting. I think the Earth bobs and tilts all the time, and that's why I was kind of pushing Astronomy Live, because I want to see a recent picture, because we're getting ready to set up the only way I think we could credibly do this North Star shot, it's like back in high school, if anybody was in photo club back in the 70s and 80s. Remember how we used to take the camera out and we could take a picture of the North Star and all the stars would rotate around it? we're going to try to do that again and see what the variation is. Now, what we heard Astronomy Live say was that he said that there should be a 3-degree difference. That's not true. It should be almost spot on. And that 3 degrees actually adds up to a 6 degree. And I measured it from a fixed point on the Earth. So when you say, how can you prove that the North Star moved? You have to have a fixed point on the ground. That's the answer. And you have to have observed the North Star from that fixed point before and after it moved. Well, I did that, and I measured it. It was a 6-degree variation from 2012.
No, we listened to your channel that day, a couple of days, because it was like, wait a minute. Yeah, we were so off balance. And like I said, we fish. We're out in the ocean, and both of us, neither one of us had said anything to each other until later on, but both of us thought that we were having like a medical problem. Our equilibrium was so off. I mean, it just never went away until late November 13th. And so I was wondering, and I just was curious if you thought that it was related to that as well.
I would. So, and that's an interesting thing when you bring it up, right? So this is what's happening with Scott's channel and with my channel. I'll see something or observe something or get an email and I'll share it. And then somebody like you will come along and have a personal experience. And what we call that is corroboration, okay? We're corroborating evidence that is different at testimonies and different points of view. Now, if I, in the early days, was not able to corroborate at least 7 different points, I would not have started the channel.
Right.
It took so much to convince me, okay? I'm a very skeptical guy by nature, but when I started to put these things together, and when you're out on the ocean every day, like you guys with your fishing business and everything like that, you're going to notice things more than we notice them on the land, on the mainland. You just will.
Yeah. Actually, we had been out on the ocean, and when we had came in, we had stopped to refuel up on the boat, and as soon as I touched the land, even the cashier at the store was like, have you been drinking? And I was like, no. I mean, it was that bad. I literally or physically had to grab a hold of the counter and walk around to her, and I was standing there thinking, oh, my God, am I having an aneurysm or something? And at the same time, my partner was feeling the same thing, and, of course, we never communicated until later on. And it was just a very interesting, and it was a very strange feeling. And if this planet or solar system, which it is in our system, I've seen it with my own eyes, my naked eyes, quite often actually here the sunrises and the sunsets, we capture it just about every day, just on our regular iPhone. Sometimes you need the filter, sometimes you don't. And after listening to your talk show, I definitely believe that this planet or solar system has a total effect. And people I'm going to be amazed. I got a taste of it, and I can't even describe it. It's very strange.
Well, the situation that has occurred with you, I have a lot of European subscribers, and I have a lot of men who were ship captains on large container freighters, going back and forth from the United States to Europe, things like that. And I had the opportunity to speak with a man who spent 35 years as a freighter captain. He is from Sweden. And this man can navigate a vessel by looking at the stars.
That is awesome.
Okay, now this man is very smart, and he's retired now, but he's been retired for a few years. But he was telling me in a few emails that he has noticed a lot of strange things with the positioning of the stars in the sky. They're off. Things are just off. And then he decided to do his own experiment over a period of 6 months. This started back in April, is when he contacted me. He placed a compass, an old compass that his father gave to him. It is in perfect working condition, like a Swiss watch.
Oh, wonderful.
He's been documenting the movement of this compass for all of these months. Now, I just spoke with Steve about this the other day. Remember, Steve, I was telling you about this gentleman?
Yep.
With the compass. And he was literally sitting at his desk, and he watched that compass. He has it set at due north.
Right.
Okay? It moves, you know, a little tiny bit back and forth, and then he just happened to look over at it, and it spun 180 degrees right in front of his face. And that blew his mind. Now, he told me that, you know, he's had magnetic anomalies like that in the ocean, and they're used to it. Their instrumentation resets and everything's fine.
Right. Right.
The compass did go back, but the next day it was off 8 degrees.
Wow.
And then it corrected itself a little bit to 6 degrees. Now, when me and Steve were talking, you know, we're going through the seasonal change, and this gentleman knew about that. He knew about the seasonal change and the Earth's wobble, but our Earth has been out of wobble, if you want to call it that, and we're actually heading further out on our wobble. It's been happening since what, Steve? I think 2011 or 2013.
Yeah,
where our wobble's increasing, and this is documented by NASA.
That circular chart, guys. Look, if you remember the circular chart, it's got it shows where the north, where the magnetic north should be, when it's spot on, and then the variation off that magnetic north, and it's almost off the chart. I remember one day DP Earthwatch was looking at it, and he goes, I think they're going to have to grow this chart a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I remember that episode.
Now, here's something else. And Steve, you and Wayne were just touching on this the other day, is that upper northern jet stream. It's out of whack. And so
if I was in a
Tracy
court of law, I would have enough data to prove the case. But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you again.
Yeah.
I'm
and
sorry,
absolutely.
And
the southern hemisphere, the jet stream is out of whack. Now, what would actually cause that? I'm not a weatherman, but if the Earth was starting to tilt, if something was starting to pull on it, and it did suffer a 4, 5, or 6 degree or 8 degree tilt over a period of time, would that not affect these jet streams?
Absolutely, it would.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you, Hawaii. We're going to have to move on. We still have people waiting. But thank you very much for letting us know that. And I noticed that too, you guys, that up here in Michigan that, you know, well, like today, it's the middle of November and it's 69 degrees, you know.
It was 75. It was 75 here in Pittsburgh today.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. For those that are on the phone, if you wish to ask a question, push *8. Welcome to the show, Montana. Sorry for the wait.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes? Montana,
Hey,
you're on the air.
Awesome. Hey, Steve Olson, this is Captain Ron's buddy, Captain D. Finally get to say hi to you for a minute.
Oh, it's you. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. So good to talk to you.
Oh, you too. You've been with me from the very beginning, Captain D, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Gosh, man, that's great.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the other fella already. I'm terrible that way, but I just wanted to say I just started. Yeah, thank you. I just started your channel a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's great. And so thanks for that. I really love what you guys are doing, and I believe in you guys. And I don't understand what all the madness is with the way people are talking, but it's really it's kind of sad. But so I just wanted to say mention that I really resonated with when Steve was saying the older people, or the caller did, are seeing the sky's different and the sunset different. It's because it did used to look different, and we know it. I mean, that's a fact. In my mind, it's an absolute fact. And
absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and you just can't miss it. And really, I just wanted to just touch base, say hi to Steve finally, and because we've been tiptoeing around, missing each other a million times, and wanted to say hi and tell you I love you, brother. I know you're my brother, and you're probably going to meet me someday because I like to hang out with Captain Ron. So.
Oh yeah, and that's the crew that I got going with me to North Dakota to do the reporting on this whole madness that's going on up there. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
He called me and told me that, and funny enough, we got cut off right when he was starting to give me some details. So there you go.
Yep. Going into the belly of the beast.
Well,
Take care, Captain D.
Love you guys.
Captain
Have
D,
a great night.
you are awesome. You are awesome.
Right on, Steve.
Captain D was one of the guys that, he kept it humorous really early on for me guys. I mean, because I was getting bummed out on some of my videos. I'd be just like, I'm going to go kill myself right now, or, you know what I mean? And Captain D would be like, no, don't kill yourself, Steve. You got to keep doing this.
Okay, thank you for calling in, Montana. We're moving on. Guest 2012, you have a question for Steve or Scott? Hello? Going once, going twice. You had your hand raised. SPSLK 2012.
Hello. This is Conchita. How you doing?
Okay.
Hi, Conchita.
My question is for Steve.
Go ahead, Conchita.
Hello. The question that I have for you is, Steve, are you in your underwear right now? Like, do they have little Nibiru?
Oh my God!
Planets and stars in solar system down there?
In fact, I am in my underwear.
I'm in my boxers.
Is he
I'm fully clothed.
Okay,
I'm fully clothed.
Question. Thank you.
Oh my God!
What color are they, Steve?
They're orange.
I don't wear tidy whities.
Okay, we're moving on. Southeast of Missouri, do you have a question for Steve or Scott? Hello, Southeast Missouri? Going once, going twice. You had your hand raised. Okay, I'm muting you back. Moving on. Welcome to the call, Texas. You have a question for Steve or Scott?
Yes, hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, Scott?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for what you're doing over at the Nibiru channel, man. It's really, really great. And I, too, have been seeing stuff. I think y'all are doing a good job, you and Steve Olson, at your perspective channels. I sent you some footage that was on the news here Wednesday night. You're going to be amazed to see what the weather guy explains this giant green planet sitting under the moon. And the weather guy, you saw it?
Yes, I got your email. I just want to let you know, I get about 1,000 emails a day. It takes me a few days to get through a couple of hundred of them, but I did receive your email. I did look at the look on the weatherman's face.
Yeah.
And he had to give another explanation other than what he was looking at.
Yeah. And he knew that he was fibbing on that. He knew that it's not correct. Why would it be green if it's a reflection, and what is it reflecting off of? I don't know.
Exactly.
Is it a moon dog? So it's they know. I think they're covering up. They're covering up. They know and they're not telling us. And I reflect your anger when you are on your show and you get angry, and it's a genuine, sincere anger, because they should be telling us we're taxpayers and they're keeping us in the dark.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
We both agree, and this is the thing. I don't know why people you don't understand. It's like, this is genocide. I'm not talking about people not being able to get out of the way of a tornado because a siren doesn't go off. I'm talking about literally tens of millions of people on the coastlines, and it blows my mind, because here's the other way they could have dealt with it, right? They could have in 1983 said, you know what, we're going to put a worldwide effort to have everybody ready for this event, change the whole way the society works, so that we can get as many people through as we could. And why didn't they do that?
Yeah,
it's all about the money, man. It's all about the money.
That's exactly what it's about. It's about the money. And see, I've been listening to y'all stations, and then I've been going off doing some other research, and they're putting up a lot of FEMA camps that are more so like prison camps. And I think they're preparing to usher us into. It's like what Scott said. They're going to be trying to usher us into FEMA camps, and we're going to be. It's going to all be under the guise of our protection, but it's not going to be for our benefit, and it's not right.
Yeah, because I mean, in the face of this type of a cataclysm, number one, we're going to have issues with food. We're going to have issues with water. We're going to have issues with sanitation, medical supplies, communications. So limiting the number of people, bringing those numbers down, helps them out. But they don't have the right to play God.
Yeah.
It's not their job. It's not their right. And they're using our tax-paying dollars. What you worked for, what Steve worked for, what Badbaby worked for, what we all worked for, they're using that money for their own damn benefit.
Right.
And that's what gets me.
Yeah. And, I don't understand. They've been knowing about this thing for a while. They've been knowing about it for a while. I'm 42 going on 43. And back in 83, I was a little young kid. I've always been, interested in the space and the outer space and all that. I remember back in 83, they came out with this discovery about they saw a planet. And now when you go back and you look at it in retrospect, I'm seeing a lot of these same articles that I recall as a child. This was back in 1983, and I was 9 years old, 10 years old, and now they're keeping any mention of it out of the news, and anybody that talks about it are labeled as wacky conspiracy theorists or conspiracy theorists or what have you. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, hey, I don't want to hold y'all up, man. I just want to say keep up the good work, man. Scott, I sent you in some photos. Hopefully you can air them. I don't know. Maybe it is a reflection. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the weatherman was correct, but I never seen nothing. I hope you got the video. I did
see that, but I just wanted to mention to you that earlier on, I think it was last year, that happened on a live news broadcast in Chicago with a weather helicopter. And they were looking at a planet being eclipsed in the sky, and they had no answer for it. And they were live on TV in Chicago. You can look it up on YouTube. They were all sitting there with their jaw on the ground, and the newscaster asked the weatherman, hey, what about this? And he fumbled through it. He said, well, I'd have to be on the ground or I'd have to be in the copter. But you can clearly see it was a pinkish, reddish planet being eclipsed in the sky, and it was being videoed live from a helicopter.
Yeah, see, that's amazing because, see, I'm in Houston now. And before I heard of your show and Steve Olson's show, I was here. I got here in January. And I was walking my fiance to work, and it just so happened when we were getting to work, I looked up and I told her, I was like, hey, babe, what's that? And, you know, ever since then, I've been noticing this. And you don't notice it unless you look up. And ever since then, yeah, and it's been really, really strange, man, really strange.
Yeah.
Scott, I got to tell you this. My fiance just reminded me of something. Man, I've been trying to get y'all some footage forever, but every time I take it, my pictures, I've got photos in this same phone going back to 2012, 2013. Those photos are still there, but every time I take a picture or any video footage of what I've been seeing in the sky, they come up erased in my face instantly. I've cut off the cloud, and it still keeps happening. That's why when you did the show about your YouTube channel being censored, I'm telling you, man, you're right. Because they're censoring my phone, man.
I've had that happen also. I'm sorry, you guys. I've had that happen also. I've taken video and had it. I went in and to download it and had it erased.
Yeah, and that is messed up. I mean, that just irks me. I've tried to get stuff into you, Scott, that my fiance has been sitting here with me, and it'll just erase out of my the phone thing that stores pictures, and I'm like, and so I cut the cloud thing off, and it still erases. I don't understand that, and so the only way that I was able to get you that footage, I had to hurry up and email it to myself really quick. I had a hard time doing that, and you know, it's just crazy. It's like they're monitoring your phone
texts.
Huh?
You know, Dawn Hall has the same thing happen to her too. You know who Dawn Hall is, don't you guys?
Yeah.
No.
So one thing that I was going to mention along this line too is, like, I noticed when this is my own personal testimony, okay? It was May 2015 when it was actually John Moore's show, and that was the final piece I needed because he's such a credible guy, and then I got to know him myself, and that's why I got so incensed about it because God dang, is that guy the most? I mean, not only is he an honest guy, I think he's probably the most honest person I have ever met. Okay,
right.
And but anyway, when he talked about that and I looked at the Navy maps and stuff, and then I went out there and started commenting on other people's videos, you know, and boom, I got chased around by a troll, and I thought, yeah, he's right, it's not that big of a deal. So from May to November, I blew it off. I was just like, I'm not going to look at it anymore because it's not true. These trolls are right. This is just a bunch of nonsense. Seriously. And now that I look back on that and I just say, I was taken off the track so easily. Just a little like, hey, you know what? That's just Venus. Bye. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Venus. I'm not going to look at this anymore. It worked.
Yeah, that's for real. So Glenn Beck had came out with some stuff. There is a lot of stuff that's connected to this thing. And so each one of us, we're figuring out different portions of it. But there's the lady over at stopthecrime.net or stopthecrime.com rather. She's doing some good work on a lot of stuff that's going on with the FEMA camps and some other stuff. And when you put it all together, it's looking like they're setting the pieces in place to keep control of the public. So that if something happens, they got control over everything. That's it. That's what it's looking like. And I'm looking at all of y'all stations, and I'm able to stand on the outside because all of y'all specialize in your own areas, and all of y'all you've got the pieces of it all coming together, and it spells a much bigger thing. It's crazy, but again. It's looking, when you hear about the rail cars that are being built with shackles inside them, when you hear about the deep underground military bases, when you hear about the bunkers, the FEMA camps inside the Walmarts, I heard one of y'all say, I can't remember, it might have been the guy over at Secure Team, I've been listening to all y'all's channels. They're going to be trying to get people to come for food and water and help at these places. And when you get there, then it's going to be another need to lock you down in place because of some outside danger. So when they lock you down, then they're going to have to usher you off. They're going to usher us all off into FEMA camps. And those camps, when you go and look at them, they're not for your benefit to try to help a society that's in need. It's almost as if they're set there to control.
They're concentration camps.
Yeah.
They are concentration camps.
Yeah. They see what's happening. They see what's going on. And if you notice, a lot of these DOMs, these deep underground military bases, they're built strategically under, some of them are built strategically under airports, because airports are going to be a source of transportation to traverse the globe in a quick, when they need to get out quick. And this is going to be for the elites. You notice a lot of the FEMA camps are built conveniently off railroad tracks so that they can take rail cars up there to unload people. It's really kind of scary. It's kind of scary. And I've been following y'all. Yeah.
They said that those rail cars were meant for auto transportation. Listen, I've never in my life seen brand new cars on trains being trucked across the United States. I see them on tractor-trailer trucks. I've never seen them in rail cars.
He's talking about Deborah Tavares. I've had her on the show, but I want to bring up a point that I've had Al Cuppett, retired Joint Chief of Staff, on the show, and he talks about the FEMA camps also. And I asked him way back in 2006, why isn't Congress doing something about it? And he told me they're all part of it. That's why they made the red, green, blue list. And he has actually visually seen them unloading the guillotines off of naval ships. And when I interviewed him, he brought up a point about a new FEMA camp that was put up at that time, back in 2006, next to a meat packing plant. And I said, what do you mean? What significance does that have? And he said, well, they want the freezers. And I said, they're going to freeze bodies? And he goes, no, honey. He goes, why do you think they're going to behead people? I said, well, it's quick and clean way of killing someone. He said, no, they want to preserve the body. They're going to harvest organs. That's why they put it up next to a meat packing plant, because they want to freeze the organs. So this is why they are the guillotines were purchased.
So let's talk about this for a second, because this is the thing that's been getting to me a little bit. If we're putting all these things together, Badbaby, I'm just thinking to myself, do we have to accept this? Do we have to accept this?
No, they don't want people to realize. And I'll tell you another thing Al said. He said that when the devastation does go down, that they're going to make people believe that those camps are a place that they're going to get a hot meal and a warm bed. And, he said they're expecting people to walk into them camps and say, help me. And that's when they're going to find out the truth.
Yep, and it's like leading the lamb to the slaughter.
Yeah.
And again, it's like we all know, and we put these pieces together in the conspiracy world. I mean, in this genre, right? And I have enough solid information to believe everything that you guys just said is true. I would validate it, and I'm saying to myself, why would they possibly want to kill people in this time? I just don't get it. It's going to be bad. I mean, what is their motive?
Well, from what he explained to me, anyone over 50 is on the termination list. Unless you have some kind of special talent that they, want, like architecture or, something.
Doctors.
Other than that,
doctors,
because they want to depopulate.
Yeah.
Okay, we have another caller.
Yeah, I've delved into this very, very deeply. It's very, very disturbing. I just spoke with a gentleman 2 weeks ago who he just basically told me straight up that a lot of my friends in the construction area out in the West spent 25 years building these underground caverns, tunnels, and systems inside of these mountains. They have machine shops. They grow vegetables. It is completely self-sufficient. It had nothing to do with the Cold War. It had nothing to do with nuclear war. Nothing.
Well, you know, people are on there, people in the chat are saying I've lost my mind. I'm sorry, I'm getting this right from the retired Joint Chief of Staff of the Pentagon. So I guess everybody's lost their mind but you people. If you don't like what we're talking about, you don't have to stay in the chat room. And we're going to move on to another caller. And we got 2 callers, and then Astronomy's been waiting with his hand raised again. We will let him talk one more time. But let's get to these other callers. Welcome to the call, Southeast of Missouri.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey, it's SB Skywatcher. They wouldn't let me in as myself, so I had to kind of backdoor this sucker, but I'm here for you guys.
Hey, SB, I know you've been trying to Google Hangout me, and I'm sorry, I just miss it every time you try to do it. I apologize. I'm trying to catch one when you send it to me, and I'll jump on it when I can. Okay?
Yeah, not a problem. Hey, I love the collaboration that we've got. The team that we're working with Scott with is going pretty good. I hope to bring you guys more information. I got clear view of the southwest sky and this anomaly that I've been taking pictures of since, August? No, earlier than that. Actually, back in the middle of June is when I first noticed it. And I only noticed it because Scott had said if you look toward that direction, you're going to see something that doesn't belong there. And as soon as he said that, I went outside, and sure enough, I saw it, started taking pictures then. And I've been on board ever since. I've been studying this for a long time. Actually, I'm one of the few people that I know that 11 years ago I committed suicide and asked God for forgiveness and asked him for answers. I had lost my faith and lost my way. Boy, did he give them to me. But that's a bit of a long story, so I won't go into it right now. I don't want to hold anybody up. But I do have a message for everybody listening. God wants everybody to get along. God wants everybody to love one another. He told me straight from him that we're supposed to remember who we are. We're supposed to remember that we're all children of God. And there's no reason for us all to fight with each other. If we have a difference in opinion, that's fine, but we can talk about it civilly, come to conclusions. We don't have to be evil or wicked to each other. We need to stop it. It's time for everybody to grow up and everybody to treat each other how we're supposed to.
I agree.
Amen.
I agree 100%.
So,
yeah, and I could do better at that myself. I just, guys, I apologize. I mean, I'll tell you straight up, I get really mad. And, you know, when you talked about waking up, I concur 100%. It's like this idea that the thing that we have to wake up to is love. That is the only thing that's going to get us through. You know,
Amen.
I can't think of anything else that would get us through.
Yes.
So I'm with you on that.
Yep, that's what God wants. God wants us to love each other.
Yeah, and I think I think in the event that this would occur, I think that you're always going to have good and evil. But I think if an event like this ever occurred on this planet, I think good would definitely soon overrule the evil that is on this earth. The evil that has transpired on this earth over the past 20 years, it has just gotten so bad.
God knows.
Bad. And I agree with you 100%. The world would be a great place, man, if everybody just loved each other. Love and peace, man, like back in the 60s. But we know right now that's not reality. We get attacked every single day, and it's very, very hard to turn the cheek and let them do it again, because I have to fight them. So I'm the warrior, Steve is the warrior, and now, Sean, you are also the warrior. You're
Amen.
just like me, and we are going to fight. And like I've said before, you can put my head in the damn guillotine, but you know what? I got my message out. I reached people. I touched people. I opened their eyes. And now
Amen.
you're going to have to face them. And eventually, hey, man, we outnumber them.
Yes, we do.
Outnumber them. And good and love will always win, not the
Yes,
elite.
it will. Hey, one other quick thing, and I'll jump off of here. I don't want to tie you guys up. But also, if there's been too much talk about the end of the world. If you go on the internet now, you hear way too much boo-hoo and people getting scared, worried, all sorts of things. This is not the end of the world. It is the Great Ascension. When this is all said and done, our eyes will be open to our galactic brotherhood, our place with everything, one with each other. It'll be a great place of beauty. It's not going to go on for everybody, and the people that don't have their mind and their eyes open are going to have some hard times to get there. But we will make it through, and we will rebuild, and it will be utopia on Earth.
Absolutely. And look how many times the Earth has been rebuilt. It has been rebuilt a lot of times. And this will be a cleansing. This will be a cleansing.
Yeah. Yep. Let me point something out, because I've been learning this lately, right? So I've been thinking a lot about this. What if, and this comes from those interviews that I did with the Anunnaki. By the way, Daniel, that Anunnaki guy that I interviewed, they had him pre-smeared, and they were saying that he wasn't a veteran. He showed me all of his veteran documents.
I could tell by the way he was talking that we were talking to a big man. This was no small guy either.
Well, here's what, and again, you guys are going to flip when I say this. He actually did telepathy on me. I've never felt that before or heard that before from anybody. Now, I didn't want to make it about Daniel, because Daniel is trying to help me so much. He just wants to help. Now, what I learned from that, though, is it possible that we are reading a script that was written by the Anunnaki or some other race, that script being eschatology? I'm just asking, because I'm starting to think that, and I'm with you on this Galactic Brotherhood, I don't think we have to put up with this crap. That's what I think.
We don't.
I think we can establish our sovereignty again.
We can,
really
but
do.
we have to stop teaching our children the dumbed-down version of things and tell them the way it really is.
Exactly. I
get out of the
that
fantasy land? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
People can take
years.
it. That's the thing. Kids can't even take it. It's like when there's a hard truth to be had, I mean, human beings are resilient. We have proven it through the centuries that we can take a lot of punishment and come up still ticking, okay? There's no reason to believe that this isn't one of those one of these events that the human race will rise above again. I really thank you for that. Thank you for making that message, because that's the right message. We can overcome this stuff. Now, the question is, do we have to put up with this rotten government? That's what I want to know. I don't think so. Anyway.
No, it's going to be quite comical when the elite go down into their dunes and God just happens to move things a certain way and they can't get back out again.
Mm-hmm. Like I said before, they're going to be shaken, they're going to be scared, and that's going to be their tune. But
my instructions, sorry guys, my instructions are to go out in the front yard where no trees can fall on you, lay down and pray.
There you go. Well, thank you, Southeast Missouri. We appreciate your input, and we are going to move on.
God bless you guys. Have a great day.
All right. Love you, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. We have one more caller, and then we're going to, Astronomy has been waiting patiently. We will unmute him next.
At least his parents taught him patience.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the call, guest 111.
I don't think he gets paid unless he gets on the call again. So let's help him get paid.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this is Scott and Steve. This is Kyla again with the Planet of I.O. from earlier.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi. Okay. By the way, when you go to look at my stuff, that I wanted to make sure you knew that, you know, Kyla 3100. I'm sure you remember seeing my emails in the past.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to know if you guys realized 2 days ago Obama put another order in place, and it was talking about safety and peace.
Was this another one of his? Was this another one of his midnight orders that he signed? Because he signs these executive orders. He signs these crucial executive orders right before midnight on a Friday, and he's been doing this the whole entire year.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I brought up that, I just learned of it today, and it's a prophecy. Safety and peace. Safety and peace. The minute that safety and peace is mentioned, we're supposed to be attacked. We're supposed to we're going to have an impact.
Right.
So they're gonna.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you're talking about the privacy. Like, I think Nani and 9 is one that really delves into the biblical prophecies and lays out all the scriptures and does a really good job on that stuff. You know, I don't agree with everybody, by the way, 100%. Nobody does, but she does bring out some good points that the prophecies do say that there will be some type of a mountain-sized object hitting the earth. That's what the Bible says. Now, I don't know if it's going to be true or not, but we'll find out. But let's say that happens, you know, again, I can't help but think that this event has been hidden from the human race, including evidence of giants. Why are they hiding the evidence of giants? Why are they hiding all these things? And when I start to really ask the question, the pieces of the puzzle start to fall together. They're deceiving us to manipulate us. They're deceiving us so that they can make us feel guilty for, I'm sorry to say it this way, raping us. I believe ancient races have been messing with us too long, okay? And that follows the biblical narrative. You know, just because I say it that way doesn't mean it doesn't. I could go to the Bible and quote the scriptures and all that. But I just prefer to look at it like this. Ezekiel saw something wild, okay? I don't think Ezekiel lied about what he saw. Now, it was an amazing spacecraft of some sort, some type of a holographic projector. I mean, it was amazing. So, again, I mean, I think that one of the problems with the human race is we're so arrogant. We think we know everything. That's the other thing.
Well, there's also the aspect of programming the human race. You know, you're programmed from the minute you're born.
Yeah.
And now we're hearing about that they can actually use radio frequencies and different things to actually change our mood. Is this true? Yes. And they are true. It is absolutely true.
Listen. I got a report on that early this summer, and Badbaby, I think I discussed this with you, but this is in direct relation to cell phone towers. Yes. They have placed these transmitters on these cell phone towers all over major metropolitan areas. And when they increase the cell phone frequency, the radio frequency in a neighborhood, in an area, it can create
anger.
Civil unrest. It can cause anger, deep anger, to cause people to riot, civil unrest, and all they have to do is turn it up in 3 or 4 or 5 major cities all at one time, and there's your declaration for martial law.
Yeah.
Now,
well, I think, figure out why he's not given any military support to these riots yet. He wants it to get it so bad that he has no choice to. However, there's a request for from Congress or who, I can't remember exactly the word they used, to for Obama not to be allowed to make anything more. That was
they had to take his pen away. They had to take his pen away, for God's sakes.
No, well, here's the thing. How many things, this is the thing we've got to watch with Donald, is how many of those executive orders does he reverse the first day that he takes this chair? Because if it's zero, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, here's the thing. You guys, you know this whole, you've got to realize this whole election was just a show.
I think so.
There is no way in the world any of this was true. I knew it from the beginning. Now, to kind of change subject, I also sent a picture of you to you today, or this evening. I was trying to catch some pictures of the mystery star in the southwest sky, and I accidentally took a picture, don't laugh, at this light pole in front of me.
I'm reading your emails now, actually.
And lo and behold, you will never believe what was surrounding the light.
I'm looking at it right now.
Now, I'm starting to think, are these set up inside the cell phone?
No.
Why am I getting the same lens flares, including the red sun, at night when I pointed my phone at a street light?
Well, you're talking about the little flower effect that you have on this photograph?
That is a street light at night.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, and there again, thank you. That's an excellent segue. Thank you so much for pointing that out, okay? We theorized that they're using a similar but much larger lamp than what you see in a street light.
Yeah.
So when you take a picture of a street light, it's basically just a mini example of that system. And listen, I'll tell you, I never felt more like a detective than that day when you, Jeff P., and I took all of our information and research together, Scott, and we proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have a lighting system up there.
Oh, because of that number 2?
Yeah.
Well, let me just say something real quick here. You said this was a mistake that you made with the light, or you did this on purpose? Because I did a similar experiment back in June because I wanted to be able to identify, was there something within the little 10-cent camera, as they call it, inside of my cell phone, which I have a very sophisticated cell phone. And then I had a friend of mine who has a brand new Samsung, what is it, S5 or S6, 7, whatever it was. So we did the same thing. We took photographs of different light sources. Now, in the town that I live in, all of a sudden, all of the street lights going down the main boulevard, they changed them from the old-fashioned street light to LED.
LED lights.
Exactly.
They did that to the town next to me, and the town on the other side of it. They had the military trucks and people hiding out in a campground getting ready to do roundups.
Yeah. So the experiment that I did is I wanted to see, because when me and Steve and Jeff P. started, and also Chris Potter, we started getting on this, the sun is not looking right. 1 minute it's diamond shaped. The next minute it's square. It's rectangular. The intensity of the sun seems to be turned up, turned down, and then we started with some groundbreaking photographs and information, and then our light bulbs were going on. But in June, I decided to do a little experiment to make sure that I was catching the same, what I call it, a flower petal anomaly, because that's what it looks like. You're looking at a flower petals. And whenever I pointed my camera, and when they changed those street lights to that LED. I stood across the street, dead of the night, and I took a photograph directly at that street light, just like you did. And I got the same anomaly that I was getting from the sun.
Well, it freaked me out.
But on a full moon in August, I took a photograph and I didn't get that anomaly. And that moon was bright as hell. Now, when I took the photographs of the sun, I would get this anomaly sometimes, not all the time. I would get this anomaly when it seemed they had that damn simulator turned down. When they had it turned up, I would get blue rays coming down from the sun that are absolutely impossible. Right. You cannot get blue rainbow-colored rays from the sun. And remember, me and Steve, we talked about this. The only way that you can get prism-colored rays coming from the sun, it has to be going through what?
Moisture.
Glass.
Oh, glass. Okay, glass. Sorry, I didn't know that.
Absolutely. So in order for you to create a prism, yeah, you could go through water droplets. Yeah, it'd be similar to glass. But for the rays of the sun to be blue, come on. When did you ever see blue sun rays?
When did you ever see a white sun?
Never.
You know what? I just realized something. The reason I did take a picture of that, I did take a picture of that on purpose, because I was waiting a few minutes in between pictures of this mystery star, because it moves kind of fast as far as getting closer and closer before it just totally disappears for the evening. So I happen to just be looking up at this light, and I'm thinking maybe I need to move away from this light and have it behind my back, and maybe I'll get a better picture, because I can't see very well when I point my camera up at the sky if there's where it's located at, if there's a light source in my eyeball. And I was looking at the light, and it had a red halo all the way around it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, it was either BP Earthwatch or Mike around the world said that we would start seeing red oxide or the red dust on things or in our skies. Or we'll be starting seeing evidence, which means even 2 days ago or something like that, we had fog and it lifted, but in the far distance it was really hazy, and above the skyline the haze was reddish and like a light black, almost hard to see it that it was black, but I knew it was because I had my sunglasses on. But when I took my sunglasses off, I couldn't see it. So this star that's coming through, if, let's just say for a chance, it is the Io moon of Jupiter, it says that it has gases flying, debris and stuff flying off of it too. So could it be that?
I'd have to look up the chemical composition of Io. But going back to what you were just saying, earlier on at the latter part of the summer, in the beginning of August, Steve, you had a farmer that sent you a photograph of his tractor covered in red oxide dust when he went out to draw it in the morning, remember? That same day that you published that photograph, I had a subscriber that lives in Philadelphia in the inner city. And she sent me a series of photographs, and the people were freaked out in her neighborhood because they were looking in the sky. The whole entire neighborhood was burnt freaking orange at midnight. Now, where I live in southwestern Pennsylvania, August, September, and the beginning of October, you can go outside after 10 o'clock and there was a burnt orange hue over the sky everywhere. You look everywhere around you, and there was a burnt orange hue. Now, I don't live around any industrial area where there is air pollution. Okay? I couldn't figure it out. But then I went outside one morning. I went to get in my car, and the day before, I just had my car detailed. I had my car waxed, the whole 9 yards. Excuse me. I went to get in my car, and when I got in my car, I noticed all over my windshield, I couldn't see out of it.
My windshields are dirty too. I can't. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So I put my windshield wipers on, and it collected. You know, when you put your windshield wipers on, and I collected that line of dust. I took a napkin out of my car door, and I went outside and I wiped that line of dust, and I said to myself, oh my God, it reminded me of dried blood.
Yeah.
And you know the iron in your blood.
Right.
I smelled it.
Oh my God.
And
have you guys been smelling sulfur in the air the last week?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, I've been smelling it bad.
Yeah, one of the things that occurred to me, because I had a problem one time when I was living up in northern Wisconsin, and we lived in this place that had it wasn't good water, well water there. You know what I mean? And it was really iron oxide heavy, okay? And did it make a horrible smell? And I thought about it, it's like, you know, just something like that. It's like, I think that we're going to have to deal with that smell. You know, I know it sounds trite, but it's like, that's a horrible smell. I'm sorry. It's
I know the smell.
Okay, guys, we're running out of time here. We got like 10 minutes left. Guest 111, thank you. We had people we couldn't get to. I am going to unmute Astronomy Live one more time. And you know, we had people we couldn't even get to, you guys. So why don't we do another show where we can take some calls?
Absolutely.
I would love that.
We could dedicate the whole show to these callers, because I think they deserve to be heard.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Okay, let's get back to Astronomy Live. Okay, Astronomy, you're on.
All right, thank you. Well, Steve, I went ahead and filed a copyright complaint against the video with the picture, so that you'll see what that is all about. As far as
that's the appropriate approach to take, and the email to me and the copyright strike is the way you feel those things. Thank you.
Okay, so I hope you'll let that video come down. In fact, if you take it down now, you won't get a copyright strike. I didn't want to put a copyright strike.
I'm not going to
get
a copyright strike, because I know exactly where I got it. I got it from Yellow Rose from Texas. I looked at it.
Okay, no, you didn't. They're my pictures, but YouTube will work that out. So if anyone, doubts that I take these pictures, or if they want to see for themselves whether there's any mysterious planet in the sky, I highly recommend you go to your local astronomy club, go to a star party, go see it for yourself. And Steve, I know you like to do a lot of national traveling. So, I'll invite you, if you want to come down and see what real amateur astronomy is like. Chiefland, Florida is a great place for it. I go up there all the time. I am planning on going up in December, so if you want to go up to the New Moon Weekend Star Party, I'll be glad to, show you around, and you can see for yourself that there's nothing mysterious up there. And if you want to take a look, if you want to take a close look, can I talk? Can I talk?
I was going to say.
If you want to take a close look at anything in the sky, you can take a look through anybody's telescope. There's big scopes out there, some bigger than the university scopes here in Florida. So, go ahead, come on down. Come on down to Chiefland.
Where the hell is my invitation?
Frankly, well, if you want to, I can't stop you either, Scott. So,
Well, I'm waiting for the invitation. I offered to come down and buy you a new suit.
Yeah, okay. I don't want you near my my living space. Okay.
I don't want to interrupt. Let me know when you're done, because I want to say something when you're done.
Okay. Sorry, you wanted to say something, Steve?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, man, I really am praying for you, man. I really am. I know that I know that the pressure that they must put on you is intense, and they might even have your family. For all I know, they might be threatening.
Look,
your
I'm not paid to do this. I'm an amateur astronomer. That means I'm not paid to do this. This is not my profession. My profession is in science, but it's not in astronomy. So I'm not paid to do this, and neither are the other people that you will meet at Chiefland. So if you just come on down to the Chiefland Astronomy Village, you can see for yourself. No one's going to put pressure on you. Nobody's going to threaten you into silence or anything like that, or try to get you to shill against Nibiru, whatever the case that you think is going on. That's not the case, okay? So come on down to Chiefland.
What would we do?
What would you do?
They'll kill us. They'll kill us.
No, I don't think that at all. I think that you guys are assigned. This is what I really think. I think you guys are assigned to put a persistent effort of discrediting us.
We're amateur astronomers. We're private. We're amateur astronomers. We're private citizens.
I'm an amateur astronomer.
Okay, then why can't?
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
It means you do astronomy because you love doing it.
I do it all the time, man. I have my solar system scope. I have a telescope sitting out in the RV that we use every day. I'm an amateur astronomer. Why do you insult me?
Okay, well then why are you taking my images? Okay, why don't you go take your own images? Why are you taking my images and in your video without my permission?
Like I said, you continue. So you're trying to impinge my character, and all I'm trying to ask you is, I'll look at that photo and I'll take it down if it's not mine. But seriously, man, it's like this constant effort of these very tight group of people that just persistently comes at it, and depending on the subject matter, it's just word salad. I mean, people can walk outside and look now, and that's why you're getting to sound really ridiculous.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't understand what they're looking at. They look at the moon tilting and they think it's weird. It's just field rotation, and I've done the math on this, and we can go through it equation by equation, and it's perfectly normal. So, if you're really into amateur astronomy, then by all means, take my math and show where it's wrong.
I'm totally into amateur astronomy, and that's the thing. So you insult all of us that are trying to learn astronomy by your pompous attitude.
I'm not insulting anyone. I'm getting insulted. You're telling everyone that I'm paid to do this, that pressure's being put on me, that I'm being paid to lie.
No, you will say like
you just said that publicly in front of everyone.
You just said that publicly in front of everyone. Okay, look, I'm not trying to insult for it though. I will say this: I have no proof that you're a government agent or a shill or any of that.
Well, of course you don't, because I'm not.
No, but
of course you don't, because I'm not.
No, but you are very pompous, don't you think?
No, actually, I'm just very pompous.
Listen,
okay, here you go again, insulting me.
Listen,
okay, gentlemen, you're all talking over each other.
Yeah, let me say something here. Are you now selling these photographs? You did mention that you were selling them for $1.
I'm selling the unwatermarked versions, if you want that, to prevent people from stealing.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. Okay, I'll send you $1. I'll send it to Daza's PayPal account. Okay.
No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's what you said the other day. You're selling the photographs for a fucking $1. So I'll send you the $1 and leave Steve the hell alone.
That's not how it works.
Get off the photograph, bro. Get off the photograph. The guy made a mistake. He got it from somebody else. Just like my footage.
Hold on.
Man, I'm not going to hold on. I'm getting a little sick and tired of your bullshit. Just like my tsunami footage. Okay, somebody sent me the damn footage in an email. They copied it from YouTube. Okay, yeah, maybe I should have did a little bit more research. Maybe I should have backed it up. Okay, but I was trying to report on something that occurred down there.
It occurred at night, not during the day.
And I will send you $100 for your cheap-ass photograph. Get the fuck off of Steve's back.
No, one time,
you know what you are? You're a little punk. You're a little punk.
No, actually, I'm an amateur astronomer with 16 years of experience in astrophotography. I have a common discovery under my belt this year.
Yeah, you go right ahead. If you were standing in front of me, boy, I would teach you a lesson. Steve's right.
You wouldn't dare. You would not dare. I am prepared to defend myself with lethal force if I have to. You do not threaten me. I am not scared of you. I am not scared of you. I am not scared of you.
I don't understand why you guys are getting in such a big fight over 2 stinking pictures.
Yeah,
because they were taken without permission. They were taken without permission. The video
And you're
playing,
trying to
they showed
assist my
Nibiru.
character.
They do not show Nibiru. They show a normal nebula.
He admitted to you.
Well, guess what?
That someone
Guess what?
else
I
sent them
copied
to
all
them.
your pictures. I copied them all, and I'm going to put them in a fucking video. Sue me.
All right. Well, if you want to go down that road, I'll just file a copyright strike against you.
Down that road, boy.
I really want to see a lawsuit, man, because I think it would be a blast.
Me too.
Remember wait, just a second. Remember, Scott, the time that you offered Astronomy Live and Daza the opportunity at your expense for $25,000 you said you would pay for them to make a production to debunk us?
Yes.
I don't want to be a movie star, okay? I'm not doing this for the money.
You would never be a movie star, Dennis the Menace.
No. It's just another underscore. If you were really as passionate about for the sake of people not committing suicide, why wouldn't you jump on that opportunity?
Because he didn't present it as a chance to debunk him. He presented it as, oh, I'm going to make you a big star. I'm going to pay you all this money. We're going to do a video. He didn't give me any details about what this was supposed to be about or anything. Look,
I heard him say specifically, debunk us. It will be a professional production.
No. He said it would be a professional production, yes, but I have no details here about what this is supposed to be. Look, I've seen this time and time again with people like him who offer debunkers like me the opportunity to come on some big production show, and what they do is they edit out all the important bits of what we say and try to make us look foolish. I've seen that over and over again. I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to fall for that. No, I do not. No, I do not.
You.
Oh,
that was such a troll. That was such a troll to say that. You're trying to bait Scott. You're just baiting people, man. Come on, man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Okay, you
no,
guys,
I'm not.
okay. Everybody's talking at the same time, and it's very, very confusing.
He does the same damn thing. Watch his videos. Just watch.
No, I do not.
So Astronomy Live, you want your pictures back. They're going to give you your pictures back. So
doesn't sound like
it's
it.
over.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but that's okay. We'll just take this to YouTube and, you know.
It's true because you could be making a false claim, right?
Yeah,
what? I'm sorry?
Videos.
No, I live streamed me taking the pictures. That was on a live stream, me taking the pictures.
Is it possible? No, you called John Moore, or Daza called John Moore live. You probably would too. My point is that at the end of the day, if this picture is incorrect, I will take it down. But the problem is that's your only point. That's the only thing you came with tonight.
No, that's not my only point. Here, you want to talk about other things? We can talk about other things. Let's talk about.
No, I want to talk about.
Let's talk about the math I did. Let's talk about the math I did on the SDO eclipse season. Let's talk about the math I did on the SDO eclipse season. Let's talk about the fact that I observed the SDO spacecraft precisely myself, calculated its orbit, predicted the end of the eclipse season, predicted the final partial solar eclipse that would occur as Earth passed between SDO and the Sun. And I accurately predicted that before it happened. You were completely surprised by that event, and yet here I am. I predicted it using my own calculations, using my own observations, and you know what? In the future, what I will do is I will actually predict the start of the next eclipse season.
Oh, I can draw. You know what? I can make anything look like anything, dude. That's just such. Here's the thing. The problem with your moon eclipse is the last eclipse that I saw last month went the opposite direction.
Okay, and guess what? My calculations show that's exactly what should have happened.
But your calculations,
because that was an eclipse due to the moon.
Defy common sense.
Well, that's too bad. My calculations aren't based on common sense; they're based on mathematics. If it doesn't make sense to you, then you need to learn more about mathematics. Then you need to learn more about the mathematics.
Condescending. See, there you are, condescending and calling everybody in my community stupid because we don't know your mathematics.
Well, you said it defies common sense. Well, that's too bad. Show me precisely where in the math I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then show where I am wrong.
I'm still on your lunch money.
Tomorrow night, look to the east if it's sunny, and tell me why there's a red haze all around 360 degrees now. A red, dark, purplish haze.
If you're referring to the belt of Venus, that's pretty normal.
No, I'm talking about my atmosphere.
Yeah, I know. It's called the belt of Venus at sunrise and sunset.
I never heard of that before.
Well, look it up. I didn't even have to delay there. I knew that terminology as soon as you said that. I knew that. I didn't have to look that up. I know that terminology because I've been doing this for 20 years.
I know.
Because I've been doing this for 20 years.
I know, honey. You're so much smarter than everybody else. I get it. You need to be smart. I get it.
Look, You didn't predict that eclipse. I did. Guess what? Hey, if I'm wrong, then how did I predict the end of that eclipse season? How did I predict it was a partial eclipse that was going to happen? How did I do that?
I had an
I'll tell you how
that wrote a paper that completely contradicts you. I had a write a paper.
Yeah, I saw the paper, and guess what? I took it apart bit by bit. He didn't even know about the regression of nodes, okay? I took that apart bit by bit in the video I did, where Scott made fun of my suit. That video?
Did that hurt you?
Okay, gentlemen, we're running out of time, so I hate to cut you short, but it's time for me to cut this short.
Hey, Badbaby, I have a question for Badbaby. I have a question for the host real quick. Would you be willing to have me and Daz on a show?
I would have to research what your work is. I don't commit to a show unless I know what your work is all about. So I will look. I will look. I'm not real big on having someone come on my show and try to discredit what I'm getting out there. And if I see that you're going to discredit me, then no, I'm not going to have you on my show.
Well, isn't it important to have accurate information? I mean, we're not.
No, here's the thing. You don't.
Okay, let me tell you something. I've had John DiNardo on my show. He is a professor and taught astronomy for years, and he says this planet's coming too.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I'd love to have a talk with him.
Have you ever heard of Barry Wormkessel?
Barry Wormkessel? No, I haven't heard of Barry Wormkessel, I don't think.
You ever heard of
I haven't heard of Barry Newscastle because I'm so superior to all of you.
Okay, well, like I told Dave today when we were talking on the Skype conversation, look up Barry Worm, not Worm, W-A-R-M, Kessel, K-E-S-S-E-L.
Okay, but that's not anything to do with my question. My question is, do you want to have us on for a show? I'll be happy to show in private my credentials and the work I've done, all of that. That's fine. But I'd be interested.
See, they have to beg to be on shows. That's the thing. They'll go on my channel and they want to use my forum to discredit me. What kind of idiot do you think I am? No, I'm not going to let you discredit me. You have to give me free.
Well, if you put out credible information, I won't be able to discredit you.
Well, you know what?
The problem is,
discredit me or not.
You're not putting out credible information. The problem is you're not putting out credible information.
I'm going to end this show, so thank you, Astronomy Live, for giving your opinion.
All right. Stay tuned for my SDO eclipse predictions because I'm going to be accurate, and Steve's going to be surprised by it. There you go.
Thank you.
Whatever.
I'm still on
you guys.
Pictures.
First of all, I want to address some things that are being said about me in the chat again.
Oh my God.
I'm going to be out of a job. They're saying if I take him on, I'll be out of a job. I don't make a frickin' dime off of this. Never have. I've done these shows for 13 years out of my own time, and I don't get any dime like off of YouTube. I don't get a dime off of this. I do this for my way to contribute to humanity. And if you don't like what I put on, no one asks you to come into my window. And don't come in here and start calling me this cunt word, because I'm not going for it.
Man.
I'm sorry that they did that, baby.
Yeah, they're pigs.
Well, you want to know why they call me Badbaby? My brothers. I was the only girl of 7 boys, and they used to say, don't mess with Badbaby because she'll bitch slap you back to your mama's womb.
Hey, Steve.
That's awesome.
Hey, Steve. I stole all of his pictures, and I watermarked them with my logo. And I'm going to sell them for a penny.
For a buck a piece, I hope, right? Jeez. I mean, and then he's going to go sell these pictures, right? It's just so ridiculous. Nobody wants to buy what they're selling, and they keep trying to claw into these very meaningful dialogues, Badbaby, and that's what I hate. They ruined the whole show, really. I mean, in terms of what we could have accomplished, we could have gotten more callers with honest questions, maybe people that had really good questions like, hey, remember the lady that came and said, hey, I took a picture of the street lamp and it was the same effect. That created a great dialogue, great conversation. We all learned something.
Absolutely.
I never learn anything with these guys.
Yeah, well, it ends up being a big screaming match, arguing, and I'm right and you're wrong, and it's not going to happen anymore. I apologize to the callers that did call in and we didn't have time to get to you. We will reschedule another show for taking calls because I think there are more people out there that want to ask you questions and tell you things that they have found. And I only want these genuine people on here that are interested in a civil conversation.
Yeah, and with them, it can always start out civil, but just like Steve said, they're pompous and they're arrogant, and they want everyone to accept what they say as God's word. Okay? My math, my this, my that. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept your math. I'm not going to accept your little diagrams and your little your models that you created. Okay, and here's a point that I want to make, and I want everyone to hear this. Out of all of YouTube, and YouTube's big, millions and millions of videos, why are there only 2 of these creeps doing this? 2. Don't you think out of millions and millions and millions of videos and tens of thousands of naysayers, don't you think there'd be more debunkers than just an amateur astronomer in New Zealand and a punk kid, Dennis the Menace-looking Astro Boy in Florida? Don't you think there would be more people out there trying to prove us wrong? They're riding our rear ends like freaking Seabiscuit. You know why? Because we're on to something. We are reaching people. We are creating a network, and it's scaring the shit out of them. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for having me on, Badbaby. Badbaby.
Did I scare everybody?
I think she might have cut us off.
I hope nothing happened to her.
I hope nothing happened to her. Here, I got people that are listening to me right now that chat with me and tell me, like, different things.
I'm back.
Oh.
I'm back. I got muted.
Isn't that funny? I was just saying thank you for having us on, and I'm sorry I lost my patience. I just can't. John, that almost makes me cry because that is just one guy that you don't call a liar, man.
I just got done watching his podcast today, man. That's the Liberty Man. I mean, that dude is I got to put him up there in the top 3.
Right, of trustworthy people. And, he takes so much care in what he said. When I had him on the show and we were talking about stuff, he didn't speculate. He stayed right to the facts. He didn't stray off of his story. I've heard it several times. He has lots of corroborating evidence, and I feel that he's a truthful and honest man. Now,
and he never said anything about 2012.
No, not once.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
I think he did on my show, but he said that was pumped up to make everybody believe something was going to happen. And,
exactly.
I think that was the only thing he said about that was that it was just
it was like a little trial run.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up one point, though, I really do believe that they got that Pokemon Go game on everybody's phone so that they were always looking down and not up.
It's possible.
It is possible. Because humans are they do program easy that way. And the more I learn about how easy it is to influence human behavior, I just get so terrified because these guys spent a lot of money, especially in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, to figure out how to manipulate people. I mean, it's proven, right? It's proven in spades,
Look at Ed Dames. They've been into mind control for a long time.
You know, and have you ever talked,
they know what
Badbaby, have you ever talked to Dr. Richard Allen Miller?
No.
So Dr. Richard Allen Miller was actually one of the men with goats. He was actually one of the guys that were involved in that early occult research. And what they were doing was they took a scientific approach to the occult is what they did. And they wanted to see if they could weaponize it. And this is kind of common knowledge, but if you ever wanted to get him on the show, I could give you his contact info, but he has some really great stories. And the guy is a super uber genius. That's why they used him for these different things. And then he ended up being a professor at, was it Berkeley? Can't remember. He ended up being a professor in one of the California universities, and, you know, now he writes books. But he's a really good person to talk about that kind of thing, too. So, just want to say.
Yeah,
and
get with me and give me his contact.
I'll forward it on to you. Yeah.
You ever notice how we bring up individuals who have very serious credentials, education, and backgrounds, and then all of a sudden, those people are liars? It's every single time that you bring up anyone. Like I had a battle with Astro Boy about Carlos Ferrata. He made a snide remark, and he's like, "Oh well, I'm going to have to insult your superhero and your idol, Carlos Ferrata, but he was a quack. He was wrong about everything." Are you kidding me? That was the biggest insult. And Dr. Harrington, another quack. All of his calculations, all of his math, all of his reports, they were all wrong. Wow. Really?
Hey, guys, I got to head out. I really appreciate being on the show. I'll be happy to be a guest again, and I'll try to behave myself more next time, Badbaby.
Okay, we'll be in touch with you, Steve. Probably give me a couple weeks, and we'll reschedule you guys again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You got it, Steve. I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I'll talk to you tomorrow also. You know, shoot me an inbox, both of you guys.
Okay, Scott. Thank you, sweetie. You have a blessed night.
You too. Bye-bye.